could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Always looking for more. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Hello and welcome to round 5 of season 2 of AGT's ACC Championship. And this afternoon, our drivers take on a brand new format this week with our first endurance round of the season. And we're coming to you from just outside the Big Apple. It is the American Grand Prix at Watkins Glen race day today. Our drivers have a grueling 2 hours ahead of them with multiple pit stops, variable weather, and I tell you what, the pit stop strategy will keep this one wide open. It's going to be our front runners rising to the top, or we're going to see a new face take the top step of the podium after 120 minutes of racing action around the Glen. Well, here to talk to me about all this afternoon is my co-commentator, Mr. AGT, I've called him so far in the opening few rounds of this championship, but he's back with us this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Isaac Fogarty.
Good afternoon, Trev. Good afternoon, everybody watching at home. Yes, I'm very, very much looking forward to this race. Qualifying on Friday night is something I still don't think I've gotten over. I still cannot believe that Simon Bishop and Josh Truex at the exact same time to start on the front row, essentially together. No one's really on the pole. Obviously, we have to put someone on the pole position, but both guys, just unbelievable pace. The field is super close, so if that is anything to go by, the next 2 hours is going to be something brilliant to watch.
Absolutely, do not go anywhere. Let's have a look at the races we've already seen so far in this championship. It all kicked off, didn't it, with the Italian job back on the 2nd of May, and then we headed to Spain. But then we took a flight out of Spain because the Spanish Super Sprint was postponed, but that will be coming your way. We're going to have a back-to-back weekend, of course, on the 4th of July to complete what was supposed to be round 2. And then it was the Silverstone Clash, of course, for round 3 of the championship. And who could forget this one? The King of the Ring, our first official sprint round of the season. And that was back on the 6th of June. And let's have a look at these drivers' standings. And Isaac, there's a few gaps, but still plenty to play for halfway through the season.
And there can be some big swings going the way of some drivers today. Obviously, no James Machen. We established that on Friday, so Simon Bishop should jump his way up into 2nd place. And with quite a lot of points on offer today, 300 for a race win, how far through this field will James Machen fall? That's the question we'll be asking ourselves. Our Pro-Am Championship leader, Stanton Staley, he's starting from 19th in today's race. So he's right down the order in terms of the Pro-Am. So he's got a lot of work to do, whereas Adam Gray up inside the top 10. I believe he's starting 7th or 8th for this race, so he's in a good position to score some points if he can stay clean. Ian Stewart, Wayne Tanner, the two Kiwi pit lane boys. Wayne got the better of Ian in qualifying, so will we see a swing and a new leader in the AM Championship when we leave here today, Trev?
Absolutely, plenty of questions to be answered. And the teams, Isaac, it's, well, CP Motorsports with Mantonetti and Aidan Holton. They're 85 points clear, but some big names missing, as you mentioned. So plenty to play for as well here for the teams championship.
Yeah, lots to play for today. Some big names missing. We've got Aidan Holton back today. He's starting from the back of the grid. Missed qualifying on Friday. There's no James Machen, only Nick Carter. No Matt Simmons or Cameron Fleming. Obviously, we saw Cameron Fleming on Friday night, but he's had to pull out due to some family things that have been happening, so we wish him all the best. But there's no BCG2 drivers today. Obviously, Simon Bishop and Gary Windsor stepping in for Liam Tame in that BCG1 car. So there's a prime opportunity for BCG1 to get themselves back up into that 2nd spot and make a push back towards the championship. But don't discount Team XV Primer, Bob Norley, Braden Henderson, very strong in qualifying. Obviously, Braden Henderson making his way into the 10. Those guys have both their cars here. They're very quick, very speedy. There's a question mark over the tyre life on that Mercedes, but we could see them vault themselves up towards the top of the leaderboard today.
Absolutely. We'll keep an eye out for all of the points as well coming out of this afternoon. But here we are for the American Grand Prix. We've had our knockout qualifying session on Friday. And as I mentioned, 2 gruelling hours ahead of us. Pit stops are required. And variable weather, Isaac, so you never know what that can throw up around this circuit.
That's right, we never know what could happen. There is a 30% chance of rain today, so we could see some rain within these 2 hours. Obviously, we're yet to see any weather taking place in AGT. We haven't seen any rain yet, but today could be the day, and hopefully it is, because that could spice things up.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at this circuit now. Watkins Glen, just outside the Big Apple, of course. This circuit, 5.5 kilometres, founded in 1956, unchanged since 1971 here in the great state of New York. 11 corners, 6 to the left, 5 to the right. It's a true old school driver's circuit, Isaac.
It sure is, and there's a lot to love about here. 42 metres of elevation as you run up the hill through the S's, then down towards the inner loop. We saw a few drivers come unstuck here, both in the inner and outer loop on Friday night. The chute is a great place to get some overtaking done, and a nice run through what's affectionately known as the boot. You've got the toe and the heel, and if you can get a nice run through there, up through turns 10 and 11 as well onto the front straight, you could look for a move in turn 1. But I would suspect we'll see a lot of cars getting in the slipstream up through the S's in that sector 1 to try and make a move into the bus stop.
Absolutely, fantastic circuit this one, and it's going to be an absolute ripper. We're waiting for our cars to get out onto the circuit, Isaac, and here we go onto the starting grid. And I think I've managed to just recover from qualifying on Friday night, but it is going to be Simon Bishop and that man Josh Struick leading us away on the formation lap. And like I said, nothing separated them on Friday, so I'm sure it's going to be similar today.
Nothing separating those drivers. We've also got no Anthony Burrows, I've just noticed, so everyone Bob Norley upwards has moved up another spot. So having a look at our starting grid, obviously we've got that front row of Simon Bishop and Josh Struick, and then Matt Donetti and Nick Carter on the second row of the grid. Braden Henderson and James Barton will take row number 3, Adam Elzine and Adam Gray, so the two Adams on row number 4, and then Max Silver, Bob Norley on row number 5. Adam Joy, Riley Nicholson, they'll start 10th and 11th for this race. Nathan Lee, Les Sandwith, who qualified on Friday night in a suit, came back from a wedding, jumped in the sim rig with the dress shoes still on, the entire get-up still on. He was the best dressed driver on the grid on Friday by a mile. And we've got David Corbino on debut here at AGT. It's his first race. He's qualified 15th. Then Andre Sheppers in 16th, and then Frank Horvath, Senan Staley on the 9th row of the grid. Senan Staley, obviously not the qualifying he would have wanted, has some work to do in the race. Josh Gordon and Andrew Griffin on the 10th row. They'll round out the top 20 for today's race. And that's a very exciting looking grid. Obviously, we've got about 30 cars, I believe, to take part in this race.
20 seconds.
And I'm very much looking forward to 31. There you go. So very much looking forward to what's going to unfold today.
Absolutely, and some big names. I think we've got a few more, don't we, on the grid than we had on Friday night. So we've got, is that Hayden Holton down there in P30 in the 98 BMW as we get ready to get underway on the formation lap. We are streaming live to our various platforms, aren't we, this afternoon, of course. Isaac, we're going to the AGT YouTube channel, TrackSpotTV, both on Twitch and YouTube. We are on Twitch today, I can assure everyone out there. We've been informed, and the chat as well. Big hello to you, Wayne. Nitro Racing, Jason Wilkinson as well. He says, where's the rain? Well, we never know, it could be coming shortly, and Duster as well. So a big shout out. Good to see plenty of people in the chat, Isaac, as we get underway here on the formation lap. This is going to be a beauty on, where else would you want to be on a Sunday afternoon? I say it all the time, but this one has got a special feeling about it as we're underway on the formation lap.
Yeah, this is our first solo driver endurance, our first real foray into the endurance format in season for AGT. So I'm very excited. Friday was just absolutely brilliant in terms of what the show that these drivers put on, and hopefully with the racing we've seen this season, how close it's been, they can continue to do that. And look at them all snaking along that front, back straight down towards the bus stop. This is just a lovely sight to see cars weaving back and forth, getting heat to the brakes, bringing the pressures up on the tyres, making sure they're a little bit scrubbed. You don't want to scrub them too much because it's a high tyre wear circuit here, so anything that's going to take too much life out of those tyres will be struggling at the start. But you can see they just take it nice and slow on this warm-up lap. Simon Bishop obviously leading the way, setting the pace for this formation lap. But yeah, looking at that grid, I'm very much looking forward to what's going to happen in about 2 minutes' time when the green light go out.
Absolutely, we can see them just very calm, isn't it? It's the calm before the storm, Isaac. You can see Simon Bishop. It's a position that he's been in on many occasions over the years. As we see, there's Josh Struick there. He'll feel a little bit hard done by, of course, setting the exact same time. I'll never forget that. 144.115 times 2. Almost need to get it tattooed on me somewhere. Hopefully my wife's not out there listening. But we are coming through 11 corners on this circuit, like I mentioned. And we are coming through the toe now. Short run to the heel, and then it's 9, 10, 11, and that is the lap done. But you can see Bishop, Struick, Donetti, Carter. Good to see James Barton up there as well. One Ferrari inside the top 10. And, well, all the talking is just about done, and it's going to be time to get underway for round 5 of this AGT ACC season. And it's going to be an absolute cracker here this afternoon. So many questions to be answered this afternoon. First endurance round of the season, following on from the brand new knockout qualifying format Friday, which was an incredible success, if we don't say so ourselves, Isaac. But we're almost ready to go here. Through the last couple of corners we go. 31 cars ready to go racing here, and a few of them want to get underway very shortly. You can see there Henderson, both drivers just getting in their lanes here. The speed comes down, and then we are about to go green on this Sunday afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching right around the world. We're about to go racing. It's not too far away here. 2 hours of racing action here. We are almost ready to go here. The drivers warming their tyres, brakes, making sure everything's up to temperature before the flat out run to turn 1 on this opening lap. Here we go. We're ready up here in the commentary box. We know you're ready at home. It's not too far away here. Away we go. We are green and we are racing, and there's carnage at the back already. We'll get to that in a moment. There's a couple of drivers off at the back, but Simon Bishop leads into turn 1, and Matt Donetti sneaks ahead of Josh Struick. So this is an incredible start for Matt Donetti as he follows Simon Bishop through the S's at turns 2, 3 and 4. Yellow flags are out, as we can see now the run towards the inner loop down the back straight for the first time. They're side by side here, Isaac, as we go through the bus stop for the first time on the opening lap.
This is a wonderful start for Matt Donetti. He's got himself up into second place. Obviously, the leaderboard all over the shop at the moment. It will sort itself out as we come through. But it's Simon Bishop from Matt Donetti, from Josh Struick, from Nick Carter, from Braden Henderson, and a wonderful start for James Barton to hold on to that position as we get underway here. But I could not think of a better way. Matt Donetti, he was very nervous coming to this race. He just wanted to get off to a good start, find some positions early, and make sure that he was in the equation. Look at the gap these top 5 have already made to the cars in front. James Barton's got Adam Elzine for company behind him. Everyone else seems to be fairly okay at the moment. We've got some cars down the back. We'll find out who that is for you as we progress on, because I can't quite make out what the numbers are on the little map we've got down the bottom. So we'll find out once these cars start to settle into rhythm. But look at this battle pack we've got going on. So many cars. That is, I want to say, 6th place all the way back to 18th, 19th place, about the line astern, really close together still at the moment.
Absolutely, and is there a bit of a James Barton train forming here? We can see he's 1.2 seconds from Braden Henderson, and I reckon Adam Elzine and a few other guys behind him will need to clear this Ferrari. It's a red Ferrari amongst a lot of greenish coloured cars, and that might not seem like much, but you can see that they're going to have to clear him quickly, aren't they, if they're going to stay in touch with that top 5, Isaac. We can see Elzine trying to make a move. Here's an opportunity down the back straight, but he cannot go. Oh, there's contact, and Barton is off. And so is Elzine, the Porsche and the Ferrari, and my goodness, that's not exactly where you want to go off, but there is huge damage to both cars here.
Yeah, that was heavy contact with the wall. These guys have kept it going wide on the exit there for Elzine. That was a very audacious move, and probably very aggressive at this stage of the race. Not one I would have tried to force. Just looks like he got a bit unsettled into the rear of James Barton there, and he holds on the position for now. There'll be heavy damage on that Ferrari. It'll be incredibly aero-compromised, maybe even bent steering, not entirely sure. And that has cost Adam Elzine more than it has cost James Barton. So the Shields probably look at that as it sort of penalised itself in a way. He's now down in 10th place with Bob Norley now in front of him. So he's dropped right back down the order. This is a chance for Adam Gray now. He looks up the inside, the TTR Southside driver on James Barton. He tries to hold it around the outside. There's a little bit of sliding on the curb as they come into turn 9 now. They're still side by side. This is still going on. This is great for the guys in front. P1 to 5 have all disappeared. They're already at the final corner. Adam Elzin's going to have a look up the inside of Bob Norley as well in the background. This is very aggressive racing from some of these guys early on in the piece, trying to all find their own piece of real estate, but also make moves on position. Max Silva now has a look at the back of Adam Gray. Will he make a move into turn 1? He has a think about it, shows the nose. Adam Elzin's showing the nose on Bob Norley in the background as well. And this is James Barton out in front. He's doing a wonderful job to hold on for now. But we'll check in with what's happening down towards the back end of the top 10, because there was a few cars side by side. But this is our leader at the moment, being stalked by Matt Donetti, Josh Druick, and Nick Carter has let them go. Brayden Henderson started to lose touch just a little bit, but the rest of these guys, Trev, all within about 3/10 of each other.
It's all happening. It doesn't matter where you look, right throughout the field. Josh Druick with the fastest lap of the race so far. Well, what's the old saying? You can't win a race on the opening lap, but you certainly can lose one. I don't know who said that, but I'm sure it was some wise words from a former champion, I'm sure. But you can see there, if anything, as we take a look at that leading pack, they've almost gained more time, haven't they? Because James Barton, he's back where he was, and there's a yellow flag. It looks like car number 3. It's a single-figure car. Is it David Gorbino? It certainly is, and he's got huge damage there. He must have gone off through the S's there, Isaac, because he's in a bad way here in the Mercedes AMG entry.
Yeah, that is huge damage for David Corbino. Didn't see anyone else around him, so that may have just been on his own. That's very easy to do through there. There's a lot of undulation in the road, and he's struggling to steer that car. And he's going to park it in the barrier. I think he may have to return to the pit lane to get that repaired. This is Clayton Twining, caught up in a first lap incident with, looks like Porsche GT as well. There's damage on the front of that Mercedes, so not a great start for a couple of Mercedes drivers at this stage of the race. It has been a great start though for Aiden Holton, started down the back of the field. 30th, I believe, and he's already up into 19th place. So the CP Motorsports driver, keeping it clean. It looks like there may be a couple scratches on the front of that. Makes a nice move on Mark Sinclair to get himself up into 18th. But he's making inroads here because he missed qualifying, so he's got to start from the back. But they want to get some good points for CP Motorsports today, so he's doing the job that he needs to do.
Absolutely. Did anyone say last to first challenge? Well, he's doing a good enough job of that here at the moment. There's a few marks on there, Isaac, but don't worry about that. They can come out very easily as we get back to the front. And my goodness me, this is where these drivers get paid the big money, because Simon Bishop is withstanding the pressure here like you would not believe. Here's a couple of names to throw at you, Isaac. Matt Donetti, Josh Struick, and Mr. Carter at Brayden Henderson right behind you. What is going through Simon Bishop's mind? He's an experienced campaigner. He's more than used to absorbing this pressure, isn't he? As somebody else has gone off down there after the bus stop chicane. But we'll keep an eye on this lead battle. But look at the pressure that Simon Bishop is under at the moment.
He's been here many times before. I don't think he'll be too worried about Matt Donetti. He will have one eye on the rearview mirror, but he'll be looking to the front, just trying to manage those tyres at this stage of the race. Only 8 minutes in to quite a long race, so they've got a fair way to go. Yellow flags waving for the car that's currently sitting in the pit lane, so not able to get side by side along the front straight, but you could make a move into turn 1 still. That yellow flag will be clear by the time you get there. Very wide, very loose on the exit for Simon Bishop, but just doing a wonderful job, keeping calm, keeping cool. You can see these top 5. Looks like Brayden Henderson's falling off a little bit. They're starting to spread out just ever so slightly now. Matt Donetti, though, he's not letting him go. We've seen these guys, anyone that watched the 90 minutes of Imola that we did as the finale for Season 1 will know these guys were within about a half a second of each other for 90 minutes. That's only half an hour less than what this race is, so I think we very well could see these guys for the next 2 hours within about half a second of each other.
I think these two will be getting very familiar with each other. Of course, 84% of drivers who have started on pole position at this Watkins Glen circuit have gone on to win the race. Of course, if you believe those statistics, Isaac, you'll believe anything. But look at this top 5. This is incredible, covered by just under 1 second. And then it's Mr. Gray there, followed by Max Silva. So James Barton, the Barton train is slowly being passed here at the moment in the 91 Ferrari.
He's got 26 seconds of damage on board that Ferrari at the moment, so there's a lot that he's trying to deal with. Potentially suspension damage included in that, so his steering will be a little bit bent, feel a little bit loose. So there's a lot that he's trying to deal with while also navigating these cars behind him. He's got Adam Elze, which is the man he made contact with to have that initial damage. So we'll have to see what happens when Adam does in fact catch up. There'll be damage on that Porsche though as well. He made heavy contact with the wall. So he's got two very angry looking Mercedes and a very determined Shannon Staley, who started 18th in this race and well down in his class. He'll be looking to push up and gain more positions inside the top 10 to hopefully protect that championship lead, because his closest rival, Adam Gray, is currently leading in class and 6th overall in this race.
Tell you what, Mr. Elzine here, he's young, he's enthusiastic, full of energy, full of beans. But he's getting very punchy here, isn't he? He's got those Mercs behind him. Norley and Joy, as we come back to the scene of the first lap incident between these two. He's keeping his distance at the moment. Having said that, Isaac, I reckon he's got more issues in his rearview mirrors than what he does with, I think those two Mercs behind him are causing him some more issues than James Barton, but he will have damage. Is it better when you've got damage such as James Barton, Scott? Is it better to come in, or do you lose far too much time, Isaac? It is a 2-hour race, but you don't want to be right at the back of the field early, especially with no safety cars here this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right, there's no safety cars. We've got a lot of cars that are already spread out. You can see on the mini-map, there's cars that are it's going to be hard for them to fight back through in this race. But I think if I'm James Barton and Adam Elzine at this point in time, as long as I'm still keeping pace with the cars in front, and for the most part they are, obviously James Barton hasn't got too far off Max Silver, and that'll be helped by the fact that he's trying to battle with Adam Gray. So he hasn't lost touch with those guys. As long as you're not losing touch, you're not losing a whole heap of time, I would stay out and fix it in the pit stop. Potentially, if you're able to live with it and your race pace is still okay, maybe even not fix it, just live with it for the race, because it'll cost you more time in the pit stop. Obviously 26 seconds worth of damage is going to almost double his pit stop time, so that'll cost him quite a lot of the lap. 56 seconds or something thereabouts will be just sitting in the pit lane, in the pit booth. So there's a lot to think about for James Barton when it comes to repairing that damage. He's keeping pace with Max Silver in front, not too worried. Speaking of keeping pace with the car in front, Matt Dinetti, Josh Struick, they've sort of dropped off Nick Carter now. He's about 1.3 seconds behind Josh Struick, but they're all within 2/10 of each other. It's 2/10 between Son Bishop and Matt Dinetti, and 2/10 between Josh and Matt. So these guys, for the podium, if you remember correctly, Josh and Simon did the exact same time in the top 10 shootout. Matt Dinetti slightly overlooked the fact that he was only 0.02 of a second back from both of these guys. So they've all got a lot of pace.
Absolutely, and you can see there, he was sort of the forgotten man in qualifying, wasn't he? But he was only 0.25 of a second, really off of the pole position time. The two identical times, weren't they? 44.115. And so you can see the lead battle continues. Nick Carter now 1.3 seconds further back. We've got a yellow flag. It looks like car number 91. So is that James Barton, who's dropping down the field? So he's got himself involved in another incident. I guess it's good news though for that mid pack, Isaac, because they've managed to...
Aiden Holton's dropping down the field as well.
And what's happened here?
To Aiden Holton.
And Aiden Holton, the man who went from P30, he'd almost cracked the top 20. He's got some further damage on that BMW, Isaac.
Just noticed that he's dropping down the order. So something's happened to James Barton, and in turn something's happened to Aiden Holton, who's well within inside that top 20. Lost positions. Not a huge loss for him. There's still opportunity for him to get back up the field. Riley Nicholson started 13th in this race and is now 23rd. So not the start to this race he would have wanted. A bit of mixed feelings, a few mixed stories currently happening up and down this field. Just a note as well, it says Daniel Mortimer is an AM driver. He's actually a pro class driver. That's a visual glitch with the server that's put him in the wrong driver class. So he is actually a pro driver, so keep that in mind, that he's not currently our AM class leader. Our current AM class leader has just been overtaken by Aiden Holton, and that is Wayne Turner. As
you can see there, Holton continuing to make moves here on this 2-hour endurance round. First endurance round of the season. And boy, we're going to be coming at you with some incredible racing in the last 5 rounds of this championship, or 6 rounds if you know what I mean, because Spain didn't happen. 7 laps completed. Let's recap if you're just joining us. It is this man, Simon Bishop, for BCG1, and then it is Matt Zanetti not giving him an inch for CP Motorsports in car number 51. And look at this, Josh Struick there in the 33 Mustang. Westside doing very nicely indeed. There's another car off. What is going on with that part of the circuit, Isaac? That outer loop is just taking victim after victim there. They're dropping like flies. And as long as our lead pack, you can see the field starting to spread out as car number 3 has got going again. And then there's a slight gap back to Nick Carter. Then Braden Henderson now. And then we've got car number 57, the Mustang. You can see there Max Silver. He's doing very nicely indeed here, holding off Adam Elzine, P7 and P8. And that's good to see, isn't it, Isaac, considering he had a tough run in the top 10 shootout, didn't he, with an invalid lap time?
Yeah, he was kicking himself that he invalidated that time, and there's quite a few people that haven't let him live it down, but he's off to a wonderful start here. He said he was in a great position to look at potentially a class win, but at least a class podium today. And Adam Elzine, he's been a little bit reckless at the start of this race, so hopefully he's starting to get back into a rhythm now. Just settle down a bit, just realise it's not the time to do anything silly, no silly moves. He knows he's got the pace. He's got it carrying a bit of damage on that Porsche though, so we'll keep a close eye on that. For Max Silver, the biggest thing for him this week has just been tyre life. They've found, all the Mercedes drivers have actually found that it's really hard to keep the tyres within a nice pressure and temperature window to extend that tyre life. So he could be struggling a little bit here, which is why we're seeing him drop off the back of Adam Gray. Maybe just managing that tyre life just a little bit. But if we continue looking down the field, obviously we've got Adam Elzine 8th, and then Bob Norley sitting 9th place at the moment. Adam Joy in 10th, doing a wonderful job inside the top 10. Senan Staley 11th. Frank Horvath up into 12th place after starting 18th, so good stuff for him. Les Samwith, the best dressed man on the grid, he's 13th. Josh Gordon, after starting outside the top 20, is in 14th in this race, so a wonderful job. Daniel Mortimer, our AM Pro driver, who is listed as AM but is actually Pro. He's 15th with Sheppers right behind him in 16th. Then we've got James Barton struggling with his damage a little bit. He's down in 17th with his teammate Nathan Lee right in behind him. And then obviously Mark Sinclair and Aidan Holton rounding out our top 20. Looking a bit further adrift from that, you've got Andrew Griffin and Wayne Tanner sitting right behind. Look at this battle. We've got the 2 Highland Motorsport cars going side by side into turn 10. They make that move nice and cleanly. And there's another change of position here. Aidan Holton looking up the inside of Mark Sinclair gets that done. Can Andrew Griffin capitalise with a car into the pit lane? That is James Barton into the pit lane. So he's decided enough is enough, time to get that damage fixed, and he will come in. Not close enough this time is Andrew Griffin. Then we've got Gary Windsor now up into 22nd place. Ian Stewart, 24th. Matt Boyd for Fogarty Motorsport Jr. in 25th. Clayton Twining, 26th. Bruce Quadrell, 27th. George DeCax in 28th. Riley Nicholson, looks like he's had an incident somewhere. He's now back down in 29th for CP Racing. Then Jaden DeWitt in 30th. Missed qualifying, started from the back. He's 2 laps down. And David Corbino is now 3 laps down and in 31st. So still 31 cars rolling around at this stage of the race, Trev. And a few success stories, but also a few hard luck stories going on already. And we're only 18 minutes into this race.
Oh, David Corbino going very slowly there. He's 4 laps adrift as we go straight to him. We're hearing that James Barton, old habits, but 26 seconds of damage for Jimbo. That's what we're hearing. A little birdie, not just little birdies talking to you, is there, Isaac? Little birdies around here talking to me too. 26 seconds of damage though for Jimbo. Is it going to be a one-stop race? I wonder how many of these cars are we going to see with a full tank of fuel. I reckon David Corbino, is he just letting some traffic through there? I guess he is the traffic technically, but just letting that big pack of cars through, not wanting to get involved in anything there, Isaac. And there's still a long, long way to go for him. He is 5 laps adrift, but good to see him still circulating here in this race.
Yeah, I think he was just being smart, getting out of the way of the train there, stopped right on the inside of the circuit to avoid making contact with anyone. Obviously, yellow flag showing, so no one's going to make contact. He's actually coming into the pit lane, so I think there's more damage on that car. Not been his day today, but it is currently a lovely day for our race leader, Simon Bishop. These three, again, have not separated from each other. The heart rate has been going non-stop, I'm sure, for the last 20 minutes because they have not been able to pull away from each other. Nick Carter's now 2 seconds back off of this battle pack that's going on, and Braden Henderson a further 1.5 seconds back. Adam Gray 13 seconds off the back of that, so he's just sort of running his own race at this stage. Looks like Adam Elzine and Max Silva also still really close to each other, but this battle pack for the lead of the race, they're coming up on some traffic now. I believe that's George Tacax in front of them, or one of the Fogarty Motorsport cars, and hopefully they will get out of the way relatively quickly because you do not want to impede any of these top guys at this stage. It's a really awkward part of the track to be caught, so hopefully he can just stay out of the way, pull to the inside here, and he does, so that's really nice. Pulled to the inside, got out of the way of this lead pack, let them go through, and then continue on your way once they all go through. So that was smart from the Fogarty Motorsport car, getting out of the way, clearing so that no one was impeded too heavily. What's surprising me though, Trev, is that Mustang of Josh Struick. You would think it's quite quick in a straight line, especially in the slipstream. I'm surprised we haven't seen him make a move into the bus stop yet.
No, we certainly haven't. You can see he's biding his time. He's got front row seats to the battle ahead of him as we've got 1 hour and 40 minutes remaining in this race. It's still wide open here. Track conditions optimal. Air temperature sitting at 28 degrees and track temperature at 35 degrees. Very light wind, perfect for this race here this afternoon. No temperature glitches, of course, from what we saw in qualifying on Friday night. But you can see here Josh Struick, the man who was, I was going to say he was denied pole position. He got the exact same time but started P2 simply because Simon Bishop set the fastest, set the time first, of course, but he is just biding his time. And you can see there Nick Carter 2.5 seconds further back here. Braden Henderson as well, not too far off the pace, but Simon Bishop, in terms of strategy, I've got to put the question to you, is Simon just controlling the pace out front, or does he need to give it full beans and really use those tyres up? Because are we looking at a one-stop race here about halfway through?
Well, it is a mandatory 2-stop, so we will have to see them come into the lane twice throughout this race. But when you come in, will vary from driver to driver. The undercut here will play an effect. The tyre wear around here is quite high, so we will see the undercut be very, very powerful here. But in saying that, the strategy could vary. These guys may just all follow each other, do the exact same thing. I know Simon Bishop at the moment, maybe just managing the pace, not pushing his tyres too hard. But I think that's what they're all trying to do, is help each other here. Maybe not. They're all smart. They know what they're doing. They're seasoned professionals, I would say, especially this man out in front. He's had so much experience, not only on this game, but in GT racing, in virtual and real life. So he's done a lot. He knows how to look after the tyres of this car, and that's exactly what he'll be doing. He won't push the car further than it needs to. And he's just keeping tabs on who's behind him. But Nick Carter, Braden Henderson may be struggling with their tyres a bit, or going to a bit more of a heavier management mode. But Adam Gray is what, about 3 seconds out to, and that's a car in front, trying to work out if that's for position. I don't think it is, no. I think that's one of the Fogarty Motorsport cars that will now get out of the way. And then you've got Adam Elzine has now found his way past Max Silva, so that's a change of position as well. Trying to find where Max Silva is. I think he's not too far behind. No, he's in the pit lane. So something has happened to Max Silva, and we'll have to get to the bottom of that, because that is huge. He was second in class. That is huge.
That is huge. He was. He's not on our timing screens, but he was possibly could have been a glitch with the timing there. But he is in the pits now. As Senate Staley there are yellow flags out, but I believe it is for that pit lane sort of glitch we usually see. As you can see Horvath there, and the best dressed man on the grid here this afternoon. And Mr. Sandwith, the girls go crazy, don't they, for a sharp dressed man, as they say. And you can see here he is, car number 15, And what about the photo too, doing the rounds on Discord, Isaac? Just dressed to the nines with a little bow tie and everything, and how good was that? But you can see here, he comes onto the main straight here. You can see a Mortimer there, who's not in the class he should be. He's a pro class man, of course, but he's in the saying something different there. Sheepers in the Mercedes-Benz. And what's happening further down the field? We've got Aidan Holton there as well, who's up into P17 overall. And let's take a look at what's happening in the AM class, of course, because that championship is very, very close as well between Ian Stewart, Wayne Tanner and Matty Boyd, only 22 points behind. And if you look at this battle here, it looks like we've got Wayne Tanner for the Kiwi pit lane team leading the way in that little battle at the moment and doing very nicely here, Isaac.
Yeah, he's doing a wonderful job, sitting 20th overall at this stage of the race. Just a word on Max Silva as well. He let the Porsche of Adam Elzing go through and then got a bit of dirty air, overheated the tyres and just lost the rear end coming through the bus stop. So really disappointing for him. He was running it super well at that point, well inside the top 10, looking for a strong result. So he's absolutely gutted, will not be happy with that at all. But that's just a little bit of an incident, came unstuck. And he'll get back out there, but he'll have a lot of time to make up in terms of getting there. We've got heavy damage on the front of that BMW as well, so further damage to the 28 of Georgi Takacs, 24, sorry, of Georgi Takacs, and now he's got another car coming up behind him. He's pulling right off onto the grass. Get out of the way. That was 21st place, Gary Windsor, going through. And yeah, they might have to bring that one back to pit lane to repair the damage, because look at just how far off the circuit he is at this stage. But yeah, a lot of hard luck stories, but a great run so far for Wayne Tanner, pushing on the door of that top 20. Another guy that's doing really well at the moment, Josh Gordon, comes into the lane for his stop, is Aidan Holton, up into 16th place in this race, and just doing a wonderful job so far. He's got that is, trying to work out who that is behind him. I think it's Riley Nicholson, and he is a lap down, so he's just sort of sitting in behind him at the moment. But Senan Staley as well, up into the top 10, 4th in class at this stage for the Pro-Am. So the championship leader knew he'd have to do a bit of damage, very wide there. That'll be a track limits warning for sure for him, and that's another thing we're going to have to factor in, is the track limits. So keep a close eye on those drivers as they push on.
Absolutely, you can see Staley there running slightly wide. In fact, Joy there, I beg your pardon. So Staley in at 10th, Horvath just behind him, 1.2 further back, but look how close it is. And speaking of close, we might have a quick look at this, because I reckon, if I'm not mistaken, we have a change in the lead. So this has been something we got caught up with those midfield battles, but we've got a new race leader in our pro class. Matt Donetti says, "Get out of my way, I'm coming through, Simon Bishop."
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what he can do now he's been unleashed. Obviously, he's sat behind Simon Bishop for the last half an hour. So what happens now that there is no one in front of Matt Donetti? Does Simon Bishop try and come back at him? You can see he's trying to sit in the slipstream, but just positions the car for the bus stop here. These guys have been inseparable. They're all best friends at this stage of the race. They're just all got a little tow rope pulling each other with them. I think I spoke about that the other night as well. Just get a little bit of a tow rope, pull each other along. But they're doing a wonderful job. Brilliant stuff from Matt Donetti to get into the lead of this race. Obviously, he's spent many a lap stuck behind Simon Bishop and hasn't been able to get it done. So to be able to get that done at this stage of the race, track position is everything around here. So being ahead can play a factor, especially coming up to these lap traffic up here. We've got a couple of Ferraris in front, but hopefully he can navigate those Ferraris fairly easily, and they can get out of the way so that he can continue to run away and maybe build a gap. But Simon Bishop hasn't let him go yet.
No, I think it's going to be interesting to see where they come up on these. They come up to these Ferraris. I think if they get them on the start-finish straight. I know they're minding their own business there, but usually it's always the way with back markers. It's usually the first one on the scene that sort of wakes them up, isn't it, really? It sort of just appears in their rear-view mirrors. We see Matt Donetti, Simon Bishop, Josh Struick there, the Ferraris doing their own thing. And looks like they're on a publicity shoot or something around this circuit. They're doing their own thing down there, but they haven't caught them on the main straight. So let's wait and see what happens here. Ooh, are they having their own battle up ahead? I don't want to watch because I reckon they might be okay here. Surely the two Ferraris. Who is that in those Ferraris? It must be DeWitt. It's not James Barton, is it? It's one of them's DeWitt.
DeWitt and Quadrille.
Quadrille doing their own thing as the leaders are coming through, and very nicely done there indeed. Could this be an opportunity for Simon Bishop to return the favour through the lap traffic? We've seen some great moves, haven't we, over the years in Formula One and with the backmarkers getting involved. But what are we going to see here, Isaac? Could this be a chance for Simon Bishop? And also, Josh Struick is well and truly not too far behind.
Yeah, well, Martinetti won't be happy. This Ferrari is holding him up. He's not getting out of the way. He does now, though. But he just, the amount of speed he would have lost through those corners, they would have had to all slow right down just to get past. I'm not entirely sure which Ferrari that is. It looks like it's Bruce Quadrille, and Jaden DeWitt is, in fact, behind him. So there was a bit of a trying to get the slipstream and then move out of the way really quickly to avoid contact on the straight with the first Ferrari, and then a bit of a hold up trying to get past, obviously looking for a safe spot to let these cars go. But it's just closed them all right back up to each other. All basically, you can throw a blanket over them at this stage of the race. They're all right in behind each other, but Martinetti seems to be gapping a bit now to Simon Bishop, but Josh Struick is looking at the back of Simon Bishop. This won't be doing well for his tyres, we've been told. Little Birdie has told me. I've gone back to my little birdies, Trev, to get some information on the Mustangs, and I've been told that they're looking at very high tyre temperatures, over 100 degrees Celsius, so they're struggling with the temperatures and managing that, which won't be great for Josh Struick, sitting right in behind the hot air of that BMW.
Absolutely not. Track temperature 35 degrees, so the tyres and tyre wear. It is a mandatory two-stop race, as we can see here. Simon Bishop, the wily old fox. Oh boy, he is getting so close. It's BMW next 1v1 here, BMW. And then we've got the Ford Mustang just behind them. Josh Struick doing very nicely indeed to stick with this battle. Mr. Carter there, he's finally got on to the back of the Ferraris. Braden Henderson, Adam Gray there, Elzine. We won't go through them all because we need to keep on this lead battle. The lead trio there, 1, 2 and 3 all together. We know there's other battles happening further down the field. Wayne Tanner comes into the pits as well. We could be seeing the first of the pit stop action coming up very, very shortly. But it's round 5 of this championship from Watkins Glen, just outside the Big Apple. Hope you're enjoying it on your Sunday afternoons or mornings, evenings, wherever you're watching. It's an absolute cracker here, but Martinetti just getting a slight gap back to Simon Bishop, but they do not want to make a mistake. Is there an option to, we talked about the undercut working here, is when is the earliest we're going to see one of these guys come into the pits and peel off and try to get that first stop out of the way?
Well, you're looking at about two stops here, so 3 stints. Most drivers will probably go for a 45, 45, and then 30-minute stint at the end of this race. You could split that and go around 40, 40, and 40, which will pretty much get you to the end of this race. We'll get you to the end of this race. That's how you split it quite evenly. So about an hour and 20, we might see the first of the cars start to blink that are going to split the strategy evenly. If you want a bit of tyre life towards the end of this race, you'll see some guys stay out for about 5 minutes longer. That's where the undercut can come into effect, especially if you're in this top 3. I would suspect if one of them dives in, the rest of them should dive in because they don't want to differ too much from what the other person is doing and lose out on track time. You can also gain a lot of time in the pit lane if someone makes a mistake, overshoots their box, or potentially even gets a drive-through or a 30-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane. You've got to be so careful on entering here. Even on exit, the drivers will need to stay to the right to avoid making contact with cars as they exit the pit lane. So that's something they've got to keep an eye on. But just look at how spread out this field is starting to get. We've still got a lot of battles going on up and down the field. Obviously, Braden Henderson starting to close in on Nick Carter, but Shannon Staley is He's ranging up onto the back of Frank Horvath. Both of these guys found themselves into the top 10. Look at this little battle that is unfolding here between these guys. That's the Ferrari of James Barton getting out of the way so that he doesn't impede. Might have actually been Nathan Lee, I apologise. Just getting out of the way as not to impede. But this is Frank Horvath for TTR East Side. You've got Sandersdale for CP Racing and Adam Joy sitting right in behind just for Define Motorsports. Just spectating this. Oh, we've got a pit lane. We've got someone in the pit lane. That's Simon Bishop has come into the pits, Trev, and that's a very early stop for the number 1 car.
Interesting. Simon Bishop into the pits. So we won't watch him in the pits because that's not very exciting, is it, with his invisible pit crew? But I tell you what, that is very early, isn't it? So maybe he's looking to do a longer middle stint. We'll wait and see what happens with that. We've got 1 hour and 26 minutes remaining here in this American Grand Prix from Watkins Glen, just outside of the Big Apple here in the great United States of America. Bishop is in the pits. Maybe he's going to come out. We'll wait and see whether he's... we'll see this pack of cars go through. There's the man, Sandwith, there in the Ferrari. And, well, Simon Bishop well down the field. Aidan Holton goes through as well. So let's wait and see if that works out for Simon Bishop. But it's really left... then there were 2. It's gone from lap 19 of this race now. Matt Donetti still leads. Josh Struick now 1.1 seconds is the gap. And then Nick Carter further back in 3rd position. And then Adam Gray now in the Mustang leading the way for Pro-Am. So, well, we're just getting into that. So we see it in longer races, don't we? We're just starting to get into that bit of a holding pattern. But look at this. Oh, this is a spicy one brewing up here. Is that Senan Staley going through? Is he making a move on the Mercedes? You bet he is. He's made up another place here, and he's well and truly inside the top 10 now.
I believe that was actually Adam Joy trying to find his way past Sandersdale, and it didn't quite pay off. You've got the Ferrari as well, just sitting in behind. It is a couple laps down, so we'll keep a close eye on that. But the question now becomes for someone like Matt Donetti and Josh Struick, when do you come in? Because Simon Bishop is in, he's on fresher rubber. Do you just keep to yourself, run your own race, know that he's going to gain an advantage in this next stop? Braden Henderson now blinks, so he's into the lane for his stop. And that's about 36 minutes into this race. So they have made the decision to come in now. Nick Carter is all on his own at the moment in 3rd place, really in no man's land, 16 seconds behind and about 6 seconds to Josh Struick in front. So he's just sort of running his own race at the moment. He's got a Ferrari that's a lap down behind him. But, yeah, keep a close eye on Simon Bishop. He's 2.5 seconds off the back of Mark Sinclair, so he's going to have to navigate his way through. Not really traffic, because it's all for position. So they don't have to give up that. They just don't have to let him pass. They have a right to defend that if they so choose to. So that's going to be interesting. And whether that costs him time or whether he gains time will remain to be seen. But he's doing a wonderful job at the moment, is Nick Carter, and that is Bruce Quadrell in behind. Not the start to the race he wants. Sitting 20th, though, at the moment in this race. Started from the back, missed qualifying on Friday. And Braden Henderson still in the lane. Where will he pop out in relation to the other cars around him? Where is Simon Bishop at this stage of the race? Trying to look on the screen. He's already well past, so up and... Oh, that's going past Mark Sinclair. Mark Sinclair just sort of lets him pass. That's very smart racing from Mark Sinclair. Obviously, you're well within your rights to defend the position, but it's a very scary place to try and defend your position if you're going side by side into that bus stop, Trev.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think he knows, doesn't he, that his race isn't really with this man Simon Bishop, because you've got to be honest, he's on another level. You mentioned they're well within their rights, aren't they, to really sort of try and duke it out, as we've got a car off. Just looks like car 14 or 7024, is it? Is it to Cax? I think it might be, once again. And that McDonald's car, well, dare I say it, Isaac, it's not loving it here this afternoon.
No, it certainly is not. He's not having a wonderful time this afternoon. He's just had incident after incident, so something in that car is just not agreeing with him today. It's not set up the way he'd want it to be set up. And just struggling for pace. He's got the leader not too far behind. That gap between our race leader has got a massive power slide from Max Silva through turn 9. Did a wonderful job to catch that. He's got another car in front of him going a little bit slowly at the moment. That is the 165, I believe, or one of the Victory Motorsport cars. Might actually be the 160 of Clayton Twining. He's now made his way through. It is the current 14th, so it was Mark Sinclair that he made his way past, and doing a nice job of keeping it tight. And that's Riley Nicholson trying to fight his way back through. Aiden Holton now in the pit lane. Adam Gray in the pit lane. Matt Donetti in the pit lane as well. But it hasn't marked him as being in the pit lane, which is quite interesting. Oh no, he's out. He's back out. Is he? He is. Well, yep. He's back out. He's been into the pits, served his stop. He's come out ahead of Simon Bishop, so that is crucial. There is about a 3-second gap, I believe, to Simon Bishop. We'll get that corrected for you once they all cross over their little markers. There's the BMW of Simon Bishop just there, so he has. So the undercut has not paid off for Simon Bishop in the way he would have liked. That traffic maybe hindering him a bit there, Trev.
Well, absolutely. So the undercut has not worked. And where does that leave our race leader now, Josh Struick, here on lap 22 of this race? He's going to have to find a gap, isn't he? Of course, it's not like Formula One, is it, where you've got hundreds and hundreds of engineers and team members just saying, yes, if you do this and do that, you'll come out into some clear air. But Struick now, I guess the next question is going to be how long can he go on this set of tyres? As you can see there, an hour 20 to go on our timing screens as Horvath into the pits now. Windsor as well. Elzine up into P3. And you can see on the graphic there that orange line. It says for most of the drivers it's saying 2. That is how many stops they have remaining. And there's an incident once again. We'll wait and see which car that is going slowly. Elzine is on the scene of the... Oh! And that is that an Aston going slowly? Might be Gordon, I think. Josh Gordon, yep, it's Gordon. So another one has been caught out big time there at the bus stop as Horvath into the pits. That's very nice, nice indeed. But Struick now, that gap at the front is 9 seconds. And he's got some traffic in the form of a Fogarty Motorsport car. But when can we expect to see him in? Let's wait and see if he tries to do something differently here. Is he going to flirt with the pit lane? No, he's continuing on. So he's going for another lap here. So he's trying to push it out. And we've seen that the undercut doesn't necessarily work here. So, you know what? He's thinking I might just run longer.
Talked about how in hot air, the tyres of the Mustang are overheating, getting well over 100 degrees. So he may also be finding that now he's got some clean air, some nice cool air in front of him. I say cool air, it's still 27 degrees air temperature, but it's cooler than what it would have been coming off the back of that BMW. But he's probably bringing the tyre temperature down a bit and being able to push a little bit harder. Nick Carter's now into the lane, so Josh Struick just sort of becoming, edging towards being the lone man of that lead top 5 that is still remaining to pit. In this race, how long does he push on for? He'd have to get to another 3 minutes to get to that 45 minute mark in this race to sort of split the strategy the way that I would have thought most people would be splitting it. So very peculiar to see some people stopping earlier, especially Matt Zanetti and Simon Bishop. So they may have a longer middle stint here, Trev, and ask a lot more of the tyre. So that could play into Josh Struick's favour once he actually does come into the lane.
Interesting. We'll wait and see how this goes here. Struick, lap 23 of this race. If you're just joining us, hello to you. Where have you been in the opening, almost the opening hour? But it is round 5 of this championship. Isaac Fogarty alongside myself with you this afternoon. Elzine up into second. And then it's Norley, Joy, Sandwith there, continuing on, highest of the Ferrari runners. Don't tell me my voice is starting to go. Get out of town. We don't have time for that here, Isaac. It's that time of the year, of course. It's winter here. Matt Donetti now flying. Simon Bishop 3 seconds further back, but Simon Bishop is also flying. It is CP Motorsports BCG1. My goodness, there's some names in this race. And then it is Sheppers. I've been reliably informed that's how we say that. But then we've got Nick Carter here. And then Sinclair further back. Where are some of the other battles? Boyd into the pits. The only man playing this game not on a PlayStation, as you can see, indicated by his worldwide internet symbol. I think we established he's on an Xbox or something, isn't he, Isaac? I think out of all of these drivers. Is that what he's on?
It is Xbox, although as you said, it's the worldwide symbol, so he might actually secretly be Pitbull. We don't know. We'll have to confirm that. He could be Mr. Worldwide, but no, he is the only Xbox player in the field. Everyone else, obviously, on a PlayStation, denoted by the very recognisable PlayStation symbol that's currently on your screen. This is Matt Dinetti closing up on the back of Daniel Mortimer. Again, Daniel Mortimer yet to come into the pit lane, so he doesn't have to make it easy for Matt Dinetti, which is what Simon Bishop will be hoping. As we see, Bob Norley's in the lane, Adam Joy is in the lane, Matt Boyd and Ian Stewart all coming in for their first stops. Shepard's in for his stop now as well. So we're starting to see more and more cars blink for that first stop, and just looking here at who else is yet to stop, you've got the top 5 cars yet to come into the lane. That could change once... oh, here we go. That's a move Matt Dinetti's putting on Daniel Mortimer to get past into the bus stop, and he's made that stick. Very well done. Great stuff. Daniel Mortimer, shout out as well. Didn't qualify on Friday, started from the back, and yet to stop, obviously, but he's up into 4th so far in this race, and that's a wonderful effort.
Absolutely. You can see using every bit of curb available to him. And why wouldn't these drivers do just that? You can see Matt Dinetti continuing on now. Oh, Simon Bishop 3 seconds further back there. Josh Struick continuing on. Lap 25. He continues on his merry way. Adam Elzine as well. In the only Porsche in the field? No, what am I talking about? We've got Mortimer as well in the Porsche. Love the look of that Porsche. The sort of the lime green with the red wheels, as you can see, going right through the field. We've got Aidan Holton here getting very close to the Ferrari. Have a look at this. This battle's just brewing up nicely here. As you can see, Bruce Quadrille, Cactus Racing 2, very close there. And there's a little bit happening there. Is that Senate Staley going off the track as well in the Aston? Incredible stuff. He's managed to keep it all together, Isaac, but boy, that was hard-in-mouth stuff as we see Sandwith now in the pits.
It was very close for Senate Staley. I think he just tailed a little bit too much speed, ran off the circuit, did a great job not to come back on hit anyone. It's so easy there. It's very uneven on the inside of that circuit, and it's very easy to just bounce the car and come back on uncontrolled. So he did a wonderful job to avoid coming back on in a dangerous way, making contact with anyone. He'll be very frustrated that he's done that, but he's got plenty of time to try and go for an overtake to get back past these guys. A long race, obviously, still an hour and 14 minutes to go. So Les Sandwith now coming into the lane. Where will he pop out? Probably somewhere in and around these guys, I might imagine, once his stop has been served. Daniel Mortimer continuing on, Adam Elzine and Josh Struick continuing on. So we're starting to see a lot of ones appear now, not too many cars. Looks like only 4 cars, or 3 cars by the time Les Sandwith comes back out of the pit lane, yet to serve their stop. A few cars actually in the pit lane currently serving their stops.
Absolutely, we're seeing some pit stop action here as we approach half race distance. And look at this, Bruce Quadrille and Senate Staley. You can see they're getting very close indeed. The Ferrari runs wide. This is going to be an opportunity for Staley if he can keep it all together here as we go through the S's now. Turns 2, 3, 4 onto the back straight. Surely he should get this move done. And we've got some big news here from the stewards. There's a stop-go 30 penalty for Les Sandwith. What has happened there? He's dropping down the field, and you can see in the Ferrari there, maybe just a pit lane infringement, but that is going to cost him big time, and he's not going to be a happy chappy in that number 15 Ferrari there.
No, that hurts for LJ. He's the repeat offender of the 30-second stop-go. Just never really, I don't think he really practices his pit entries, and it just sort of brings him undone in the race. We do see, typically, if there's a pit stop to be served, you can expect some sort of penalty coming the way of Les Sandwith. So he'll be very frustrated that that's what's happened, but hopefully he can continue to, he can serve that now. That'll cost him, I've got my data in front of me here, that'll cost 62 seconds. That's 60% of the lap, so that's going to put him right down the field, which is very, very frustrating indeed. But hopefully he'll be able to serve that, get out of the way, and push back up through the field. He's got hard-charging Andre Shepard's right behind him. Riley Nicholson sitting in 23rd in this race at the moment. Adam Joy inside the top 10. This is there's a lot going on here. James Barton fighting his way back. We've got Daniel Mortimer in the pit lane. I'm making you scroll up and down, up and down. The race directors don't know where to look. This is let's have a look at what's happening down towards the back end of the top 20, Trev, because there's a few drivers down here that's trying to mount fightbacks at this stage of the race, trying to get themselves back up inside that top 20.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at this. The Ferrari, they're right up behind the Mercedes-Benz, if you don't mind. How good is this to watch? And let's have a look at this Ferrari then of Nathan Lee, Highland Motorsport, right up behind. Not for too long though, I don't reckon, because he pulls out and looks to make a move on Mark Sinclair, Victory Motorsport. And well, there we go. Lee gets the move done. Ferrari have made a position there. And absolutely, I'll be flicking through all afternoon because you just do not know where to look, do you? And we've got another Ferrari looking very racy here in Bruce Quadrille. This battle continues as Alzine now into the pits. There he is. We'll wait and see where he comes out, but don't tell me, Josh Struick, what is going on with this strategy? It's a mandatory 2. What has he got to gain here, Isaac, from doing this? He's still out there.
He's still going. It means he'll have great tyres for the last 2 stints, but just pointing out as well, Simon Bishop has found his way back past Mazzanetti, and that gap is about 5.5 seconds. So there's been a mistake somewhere. Here you go. He's in now. So Josh Struick's in the lane. Simon Bishop leading the way in this race, or maybe leading the way in this race. We'll find out when Josh Struick comes in the pits. But Mazzanetti, he'll be kicking himself. He's 5.5 seconds off the back. Question mark over whether maybe there's some damage on that car. Not entirely sure what happened. Big bump there over the curb for Mazzanetti. Doesn't look like there's any damage that I can see on that CP Motorsports BMW. We'll wait till we get a clear shot out the front of it. It looks to be okay to me, so maybe just a small mistake somewhere that's brought him undone. Simon Bishop re-inherits the lead of this race. Mazzanetti will be kicking himself over that. Obviously our championship leader at the moment in this series, with the 51 on the door, looking to take that number 1 off Simon Bishop. And Simon Bishop doesn't want to have any of that. He's taking back this race lead. Where will they come out in terms of Josh Struick? So where's Simon Bishop at this stage? I believe he's towards the final corner now. Is Josh Struick finished his stop? I can't quite tell. He's on the front straight now. He's leaving the pit lane. Where is Simon Bishop? He's on the front straight now, coming down towards turn 1. Here we go. How close is this going to be? The limiter is off. I think Simon Bishop's going to get away with it. Will Josh Struick jump Mazzanetti? He does. So, as a result of the incident for Mazzanetti, the spin that he had, he will lose out to Josh Struick and Simon Bishop. Simon Bishop will lead the way in this race, but Josh Struick on fresh rubber now, and he doesn't have to save tyres as much as what Simon Bishop will have to, because he has to stop again, but he won't need to run as long.
No, this is interesting. Boy, does this set the scene for an incredible final hour and a little bit, because Bishop retakes the lead, Josh Struick in second. Mazzanetti doesn't appear to have any damage to that car, so I'm not sure what on earth happened there, but he is closing that gap. So things spreading out nicely here. Adam Gray, there he is in the Mustang. And Norley, Elzine back out, of course. Horvath not too far behind him. And good to see Holton inside the top 10 as well. What an effort. Where did he start? Was it P30 right at the back at car number 98 now? Could there be some points in the offing? I'm sure there will be. Up and down the, well, we talked about the endurance points table, of course. Points all the way down to 24th. So it pays to just stick with it, even if you're having a little bit of a bad run, because all of those points are going to be important for the remaining rounds of the championship.
Yeah, that's right. Look, 156 points if he finishes where he is. That's more than what you get for a race win in a regular season race. So this is valuable points for CP Motorsports at this stage in terms of making their mark on this championship and trying to shore up a championship result. Obviously, this is only the fourth. This is technically round 5. It's only the 4th race that we've had, or 4th round that we've had, with some racing involved in it so far this season. So there's a long way to go in this championship, but if I'm Aidan Holton, I'm just thinking about the fact that I'm doing quite well so far. You've got Senan Staley right behind you as well, so he's trying to find his way back through. Sitting 5th in class at the moment, not being the day that he would want so far. Still a great result, sitting 11th after starting in 18th place in this race, but 5th in class And with your key rival in the championship, Adam Gray, leading the way in this class, you'll be, if I'm Sutton Staley, I'll be wanting to get past the big brother team of CP Motorsports as quickly as possible.
Absolutely, you'd be wanting to get that done. As we can see our field spreading now quite a little bit. We'll keep an eye on some of the closer gaps here, but you can see right at the front, Simon Bishop, the wily customer. We thought the undercut might not have worked. Well, it sort of didn't, did it? But Matt Tinetti's run into some trouble somewhere along the line. But 1 hour and 6 minutes remaining in this race. I tell you what, it's an absolute cracker here. And you can see the fuel usage as well is going to be a big factor here. 1 litre of fuel, 35 seconds, 30% of the lap. And not all these cars chew through the fuel at the same rate per lap, do they? We notice, I think the Aston's pretty good when it comes to the fuel usage per lap, but the BMW, it's a bit more of a heavy user of the fuel, Isaac, as well, isn't it?
Well, you look at the Ferrari and the Porsche are both the best at 2.8 litres a lap. The Aston's quite good. It's only just under 3, 2.95. The BMW, over 3 litres of fuel will be used in a lap. The heaviest, though, is the Mustang, 3.15 litres per lap, according to the numbers and data that we've collected across the course of this week with the running that drivers have been doing. So fairly heavy on fuel for Josh Struick, which means he has to put more fuel in. Thankfully, that's all covered by the tyres. It just means he's got a heavier car in the initial stage of this race. And Matt Tinetti, he's dropping off Josh Struick. Now that gap's out to 4.1 seconds. It was about 3.5 when Josh came out of the lane, which the gap to Josh Struick, or gap to Simon Bishop, I should say, is closing. That's under 2 seconds now. So Josh Struick is pushing that Mustang and trying to get some pace. Obviously, one of the favourites, I would think, to win this race. Started second on the grid, as we know, though definitely one of the favourites to be winning this race. That gap is now closed by another 3/10 in just a sector, and there's lap traffic coming up, so we could see a battle for the lead very soon, Trev.
Oh, 2 words, Isaac: brand new tyres. That's 3 words, but you can see we're almost halfway through this race, and look at Simon Bishop. He's got traffic. I think that's either Lee or Barton in that red Ferrari there. You can see now Struick. Oh my goodness me, I think we're going to see something very special happening here shortly. Sunday afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are on this planet Earth. And you can see blue flags out, and blue flags are out. Who's that for? It must be for one of the Ferraris, of course. I think Bishop is through. Now Josh Struick has to contend with this Ferrari. We can see he might not get him at a bad place though. And I think if that is Jimbo, we might see him just pull out of the way. Is he? Or is he going to make him work for it here as we come onto the back straight? A little bit of slipstream there. Boy, oh boy, look how close it is. Oh, Isaac, it's just over a second. They're both in the same frame here.
Well, it's within a second now. That was a helping hand from James Barton. A bit cheeky from the Highland Motorsport Ferrari driver, just to give Josh Struick a bit of a tow and getting him into a better position to catch up to the back of Simon Bishop. We've now got more traffic in front in Mark Sinclair, so this will be another car that these two have to navigate their way through, and this is a tricky section of circuit. It's very easy to catch the driver in front unawares. He goes wide to let Simon Bishop through. I'd say he'll do the same to let Josh Struick through, maybe. Josh Struick very close on the exit of the... Look how fast they go. That's a lovely camera angle. It just shows the absolute raw speed of these cars when they go fast, because they're on the edge. They're on the limit. That's Bruce Quadrille now on the lane as well. So that's his second stop with just over an hour to go. So maybe a 3-stop on the cars for Bruce Quadrille.
Oh, you can see, we'll keep an eye on the quad. Quadrille, as he's known. Bruce Quadrille back into the pit lane once again, as you mentioned, Isaac. Aidan Holton there, still inside the top 10, doing very nicely indeed. You can see Adam Gray there leading his Pro-Am class. And oh boy, there's traffic aplenty. I don't think that you can see the track map in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen here at Watkins Glen International. That there's a lot of traffic further on. You can see down the road there. They're going to run into some traffic, and don't tell me, they've both got the same fastest lap, Isaac. It's happened again. It's happened again. Oh my goodness, there's a car off at the bus stop. I can't see who that is, but have they got the same lap time? No. Get out of here, Isaac. There's the door. Open it and get the hell out.
Surely not. Surely they can't have the same lap time again. It's ridiculous. These two are ridiculous. They're just constantly stealing each other's laps, just trying to copy it. Obviously, they just want to be like each other, you know. They have to set the fastest lap time. We'll see if we can get a look at the timetables just to confirm that at some point. Here we go. Let's have a look. The fastest lap of the race for Simon Bishop. I believe they'll have to click on his name to get his lap times to come up. So we'll have a look. His fastest lap of the race, if we can scroll down and find out, is a... Cannot quite make that out. A 1:44, Trev?
1:44.730. I know we've got to get back to this very, very shortly, but 1:44.730. Oh, 1:44.730 and a 1:44.730 on lap 31. Oh my goodness. What is going on? These two are conjoined, aren't they? Because this is unbelievable. I don't think that's the right word to describe it. Half race distance. But Isaac, what on earth is going on out there in the universe with these two space aliens? And look at them go! Left, right, good night. Josh Struick there trying to make a move, but Simon Bishop gets up very early in the morning over there in New Zealand, and you're not getting through there through turn one.
No, well, it seems the pace advantage is now swinging the way of Josh Struick. He won't want to spend too much time behind this BMW. We spoke about how easy it is to overheat those Mustangs tyres. He is pushing on to get it's lap traffic in front as well, so this could be dangerous for Josh Struick if they catch these guys unawares. He does hold out, does Simon Bishop, into the bus stop chicane. We've got a few Trevor Byers fans in the YouTube chat at the moment. That is Josh Gordon getting out of the way of both of these guys. That's a Mercedes getting out of the way as well. So that's smart driving from both of those drivers to make sure they do not impede this battle, because it is going on at the moment. They're the fastest lap of the race, the same time as each other. They can't help themselves, can they? It's just non-stop with these two.
It certainly isn't. Don't you worry, Liam. I miss you even more. And don't you worry. We've got some... well, I'll be seeing you very shortly. But look at this half-race distance. And it is still Josh Struick and Simon Bishop. They're rounding up another Ferrari. That's got to be Lee, I think, well down the field. But there we go. Don't you worry. Sidorg is my hero as well, says Viper. Big hello to everyone out there in the chat joining us here today. And let's go, Josh. TTR currently holding 3 of the top 5 positions. Thank you, Aaron Thomas. Got to love this. I still cannot believe that. Purple 1 and 2, 44.730. Anyway, so moving right along, because this is quite unbelievable stuff we're witnessing before our eyes. Who would have thought? There is nothing separating these two. There was nothing separating them on Friday, and there's nothing separating them here this afternoon in this grueling 2-hour race. We're inside the last hour. And what about these legends in the chat? And they are fantastic as well. But look, he could be making a move. He's got a good run onto the back straight, and here we go again, Isaac.
Yeah, here we go into the bus stop. Shades of what happened last time. He's held the outside line a bit more, but just again, Simon Bishop, he's so late on the brakes, and he just pulls the car up. He's done such a great job to be able to make that car stop, less weight in the car, and they're so close to each other. This is just going to continue on, I would like to feel. Matt Donetti is losing time to these guys, so not only is the pace of these two, they're battling, but their pace is staying, a bit loose on the exit for Josh Struick. You could see the taily nature of that car. That'll cost him a bit of time, but that was very close there. Heart in mouth stuff. He may need a change of pants, will Josh Struick, after that race. We've got a couple people asking questions about various teams up and down the grid. We will get to that, I promise. TTR doing very good at the moment. Both Southside cars inside the top 10, and then we've got the only East Side car and the only West Side car. So all 4 TTR cars that are on the grid today, currently inside the top 10. That's a great result for TTR. We've got people asking about Defy cars as well. The highest Defy car currently sits in 10th place, and that is Adam Joy for Defy Motorsports. So they're having a bit of a struggle run today. Max Silver having an incident early on in the race, which put him a couple laps down, very disappointing. But this battle is continuing, Trev. It's not stopped. and I think we're about to see a carbon copy of the last 2 laps as we head to the bus stop again.
Absolutely, control and paste. Control V, Control C, here we go once again. Oh boy, look at this, lap 35 of this one. There's nothing between the two of them. You could not put a Christmas card between the two of them. And here we go again as Josh Stewart pulls out from behind. Simon Bishop ducks in behind. A little bit of a slipstream action there. Through the bus stop we go once again. Simon Bishop. Oh, we talked about how early you've got to get up in the morning to beat him, but I reckon Josh Stewart is sitting there, getting up early in the morning, having his cornflakes, and then still wants to crack at Simon Bishop. And all the while, don't forget, Isaac, please don't forget about Matt Donetti, 4.6 further back if these two keep squabbling here.
Yeah, this is what Matt Donetti needs. Obviously, we spoke about how they were still pulling away, but he's starting to claw that gap back, which tells me these guys are not really helping each other in terms of race pace at the moment. Matt Donetti's found what he needs to in that BMW to push up a bit further. So here we go, side by side again, down towards the heel, and they're not close enough this time. A switchback move possibly for Josh Stewart. He's got the better exit, but it's not going to be enough to make a move into turn 9. So they're still going at it, these two. This is great for Matt Donetti. He's starting to close that gap back in. It's what he needs to get himself back into the equation in this race with 55 minutes to go. These two will be using a lot of their tyres as well. The tyre advantage does lie with Josh Stewart at this stage of the race. Stayed out so long to maximise what he could do with these last 2 sets of tyres he'll use at the end of this race. You can see as now looks up the inside this time, so that's smarter from Josh Stewart. Positions the car on the inside, but he's just too deep under brakes is Simon Bishop, but they're side by side now. He's got the overlap going up in towards the S's. Can he get it done this time? Oh, swipes across the nose of Simon Bishop. That was a very bold move from Josh Stewart to shut down Simon Bishop. A very affirmative, this is my position, I'm taking it off you, you're not coming back at me now. And that was very aggressive. Great presence of mind between both drivers for no contact to occur. That could have been very disastrous. It's such a high-speed section of circuit, Trev.
Ooh,
that's a change for the lead.
That is incredible. What a move. We had turns 2, 3, 4, the incredibly fast S's, of course, and the elevation change as well. We see Struick there having a bit of a moment bouncing along. But my goodness me, boy, did he put some manners on Simon Bishop there. That was incredible. I don't know whether Simon Bishop was expecting a move to get done there. And we can confirm they do have identical fastest laps as well to James Machin there in the chat, because they did have identical times. Was it 44.115 and then 44.730 in the race. So these two cannot be separated here over the course of the weekend. But what a move. And well, I don't want to say that Simon Bishop was caught out on that occasion, but well, there wasn't much he could do, was there, Isaac? Struick just said, you know what, I'm coming through, get out of my way, here I go.
Yeah, he really did. He went, this is me, I'm going past. Look at the gap that he's pulled. Simon Bishop now into the lane, so he's decided that's enough of those tyres. And with 53 minutes to go in this race, he's coming in. That's a big ask of these tyres, Trev. 53 minutes, so that's almost half race distance. He's going to ask of one set of tyres. It will net him a bit of an undercut here over maybe Josh Stewart, potentially a track positional gain. But again, it's very bold to go for the stop this early on with so long to go.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at Matt Donetti. What's happening in his world? Let's have a look. Car number 51, the BMW there. P2. Then Nick Carter getting around some Ferrari, a Ferrari there. They're getting a lot of stream time, aren't they, those Ferraris? And I tell you what, we've got to give it to those two boys, of course. There, Nathan Lee, James Barton, Highland Motorsport. They're just getting the airtime. Shame there's not too many more sponsors on that car, Isaac, because they're getting a lot of airtime there as we see them go around. But Simon Bishop has completed his final pit stop. He is back out into the lane, and explain to our viewers now, you can see that he has completed the 2 mandatory stops, because he has gone green, hasn't he, on his little pit stop strip there next to his name.
Absolutely, he's done his 2 stops. He will now have a green thing next to his name, which means that he no longer has to serve any stops. The one also indicates not only do they have to come in the pit lane, they have to meet the pit lane requirements. So they need to they need to have tyres changed. You don't have to do fuel, although most drivers will. They won't put a lot of fuel in the car to continue to run to the end of this race and try and run as long as possible on fuel. They'll just put in what they need. Oh, very close there. The speed difference between those two cars, Simon Bishop and Frank Horvath. Simon Bishop now finds his way past, and that's up into 7th place for him. So a little bit of time lost there from the number 1 car trying to get around the 2-1-1. But yeah, he's completed his second person with the green box. Bruce Quadrell also has a green box next to his name. And they just have to come in, change their tyres. Actually, I stand corrected, there's quite a few cars with green boxes next to their name at this stage of the race. So, well, will we see, obviously a lot of guys coming in early, will we see that play out in their favour? Or will we see that come back to bite them with such a long time left in this race? Having a look up and down our field now, we've got quite a few cars. Everyone's starting to find their own sort of area, their own bit of real estate to drive around. This is the disadvantage of not having a safety car, Trev. We don't have anything to sort of close the field back up if there is an incident. So it means that everyone sort of starts to spread out. But there's a few gaps that is just hovering around a second at the moment, including that of Les Sandwith and Riley Nicholson.
Yeah, it certainly is. And looking at the championship as well, we'll keep an eye on that. 50 minutes to go in this race. You can see that can't be right, can it? That 44.730. If somebody could go quicker than that and they cannot be split. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, it's doing my head in. Sorry, Isaac, there, but Josh Struick now 4.9 seconds ahead of Matt Donetti. Of course, no James Machin, so that's going to be interesting for the Pro Championship. He was 56 points behind this man coming in to the weekend. So that's going to be a big loss on points for him. And just finishing, of course, this race with this endurance point system could be a big payday for you. Here's Gray. And let's have a look at him now, 28 further back. So that top 3 very much doing their own thing. Then it's Norley. And who stood out for you this afternoon? Has there been any surprise packets? As we've got an incident here. We'll get back to you in a moment because somebody has gone off at that final turn. It is a Mercedes of Clayton Twining at the worst possible place. Is he going to be able to get that back in the right direction and get into the pit lane, we wonder? Let's have a look and see here. Is he coming into the pits? No, he's continuing on, so he must have just lost it at that last corner. We can see a couple of other cars in the pits there. He's continuing on there, letting some traffic through. Max Silver, how have you seen his race in the 75 Mercedes-Benz? Was he going to be disappointed with this race? Could there have been more on the table this afternoon for him?
Yeah, he'd be absolutely heartbroken. He qualified so well, obviously competing in the shootout. Wasn't quite the shootout he wanted, validated his lap time at the outer loop. But he did a wonderful job, and he was looking really strong in the early stage of this race. And just to make that mistake, he was letting the faster car through and just came unstuck and was so disappointed with himself, honestly gutted, and I know he will be very hard on himself. It's just things haven't quite gone his way this season. He was one of my picks to be threatening for that Pro-Am title, and he saw this race really as a way to start that comeback. Obviously, the championship leader in Shannon Staley was down the order and not looking like he was going to have the best result overall here in the Pro-Am category, so he knew this was his time to start clawing back some points on those top guys, and it just didn't pay off for him, and I know he'll be disappointed. Another driver that's going to be incredibly disappointed today is James Barton. He started inside that top 10, and then that contact with Adam Elzine just brought him unstuck. Again, had a lot of damage on that Ferrari that he had to repair. And now he's sitting down in 22nd place. Served his last pit stop, so he may be a few more places for him to gain before this race is over. But he'll be super disappointed that he's also so far down the order when such a strong result was looking very promising for him early in this race.
Absolutely, but still the time is ticking here. And you can see that still plenty to play out in this one. We have a look at Max Silver there, DeWitt in the Ferrari. Let's not forget about the AM class, of course. Ian Stewart there. Who's, where is he sitting? He's sitting in P3. We'll call it P3, won't we? Because Mortimer, of course, is really much out of his particular class there. But, well, Matt Boyd is looking good, but so is Wayne Tanner there, Kiwi Pit Lane Motorsport. They are doing very nicely indeed there as we get back to the front now. There's Struick, who's dominating this race so far. Still a pit stop to go. And you can see the gap. Simon Bishop down in P7 overall for him. We've got some close battles here. Got Joy right up behind Horvath here. And he is approaching him in this race. 34 degrees track temperature. So that's cooled off just a touch. 27 degrees track temperature. Now variable weather, but you can see the next 30 minutes looks like pretty nice sunshine from what I'm seeing. You can see the graphic at the top of your screen with the 3 weather logos. So I don't believe we're going to see any rain here. Certainly not in the next 30 minutes. I think we might be right for the rest of the race though, Isaac.
I'm actually disappointed. I was really hoping for some rain to spice things up a bit, encourage some alternate strategy. I know a lot of these guys race in AusNZ, and pretty much every race this season for AusNZ has featured a bit of rain, a bit of condensation. So I think they're kind of glad that they're doing a long endurance race that doesn't rain. But personally, I'm a bit disappointed. I would have loved to have seen something happen and a bit of weather to spice things up, you know. But this has been a great race so far. Adam Joy, he's done a wonderful job up inside the top 10. Frank Horvath as well up inside the top 10. Another driver who's done a great job is Bob Norley. He's currently sitting P5 overall, second in class, and not too far off the back of Adam Gray from what I understand. So that could be a close battle towards the end of this race for the win in the Pro-Am class. But he's doing a wonderful job. He's got Adam Elzine and it looks like Shannon Staley not too far behind, but he's out of position obviously. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. This is Simon Bishop, and now we're looking at Shannon Staley. Yes, here we go. So this is the man who is leading the way in the Pro-Am Championship, Trevor. And I don't think, I'll ask you how you've seen his day, because I don't think things have gone his way today too much.
No, he's had a bit of a rough time of it, hasn't he, so far in this race. I don't think he'll be too happy. He's well down the field by his lofty standards. He's 69 points ahead, isn't he, in the Pro-Am class over Adam Gray. And he's going to be missing out. He's going to be losing a few points back to Adam Gray. Riley Nicholson as well, inside that top 3 in the championship. But he's also another one who hasn't really had a great day, is he? He's 3 laps down off the pace there in car number 6. We've got a yellow flag out. There's a car off at the S's. It might be Tikax. No, looks like car number 25 there. We'll wait and see. He's into the wall. And or is he just letting some cars through there? We'll wait and see how that turns out. But boy, that is not the place to go off the circuit there. You can see blue flags waving. But Gordon is back underway again. And I guess the next, well, we've got to see here. Simon Bishop. We've got Elzine here looking right on the back of Norley. He's all over the back of him. He is very close. Where can he make a move? Don't forget that this is this the youngest man in the race this afternoon? Surely it's got to be Isaac. This young man, as he gets slightly wide, and that's going to cost him some time onto the start-finish straight here.
Yeah, only about 12 years of age, so he's quite young, and really mixing it with a lot of these faster guys in the field. So he's doing a wonderful job. Obviously, we saw him get a little bit impatient early on in this race, but he's doing a good job now at the moment, just keeping things steady, sitting about half a second off the back of Bob Norley, who was a very seasoned pro in when it comes to sim racing. He's seen quite a lot and has a wealth of experience. He's loving his time here on ACC. Hadn't had too much to do with the sim before he jumped in this league, but he's absolutely loving it and just setting up the car. A lot of curb usage there for the Porsche, which seems to be unsettling the car slightly, so maybe need to dial back the curb usage a little bit, I would think, if I was Adam Elzine. But this is a close battle that's just going to continue on, I would say, as we continue to push on through this race. 43 minutes to go, so we're inside the last 45 minutes of this race. Drivers are starting to complete their final stops now. We should see the rest of the field start to blink fairly soon. Oh, big slide! Almost contact as well from Shannon Staley. Great job to avoid the contact. That Porsche got very loose on the downshift through, that was the toe. That's turn 7, I believe, and just got very loose. And massive power slide. Great car control to catch that, and wonderful job from Shannon Staley to avoid contact. Yeah,
absolutely. Great effort indeed. Simon Bishop is 4.6 further back, but more importantly for him, he's all on his own, isn't he? He's in some clear air. He'll set a target. We know what he's like. He's the ultimate professional. He'll set a target time and try to stick with that. He knows exactly what he needs to do at the end of this race. And boy, I get a feeling it's just the way the script is going, isn't it? We talk about things you can't script, but we keep seeing them. It's well and truly nigh on unbelievable. We saw it dead even, a dead heat in qualifying. They're both stuck on that fastest lap time as well, 44.730. But I reckon in the next 41 minutes, Isaac, we're going to see these two, Simon Bishop and Josh Struick, there together at the end. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just having a look at the gaps. Of course, Josh Struick with one more stop to go. And he's elected to stay out longer in his first stint, of course, which will leave him more rubber at the end of the race. But Matt Zanetti, where is he? He's still got to make another pit stop. So is he just sitting back, biding his time, Isaac, here? As he's into the pits now. Great timing. Here he comes into the lane.
He's into the lane now. I think he's just not quite gelling with the BMW today. It's just not been the car that he wanted it to be. It was really good in the early stage of this race, but that incident maybe just something was broken on the car or damaged, and it's just not quite stayed at that level that he needed it to be at to be settled. This is Adam Joy, currently on screen at the moment. He's got Frank Horvath not too far in front of him, less than a second between these guys now. And this is for third in class, so this is for the class podium for Pro-Am. And they've got what looks like a BMW stalking them behind. I don't know if that's Simon Bishop, as I believe Simon Bishop's actually in front of them. No, that's Gary Windsor in the sister car, the 111 car, down in 18th place at this stage of the race. But just stalking at the moment is Adam Joy, maybe not looking to make a move at this stage, just settle into a rhythm. Obviously, we've talked about the tyre life on this Mercedes and how hard it is on the tyres around here. Braden Henderson sitting 10th at this stage, so not being his race. He was well up inside that top 5 early on, and he's still got a stop left to go, so I don't think things have quite gone the way that Braden Henderson would have thought they would have in this race, as we see these guys now most likely coming into the lane for their final stops. Yes, they are. They're going to follow each other in.
Absolutely. They both come in line astern together. 40 minutes to go in this one. Let's have a look. There is James Barton. Is he done for the day? So is Mr. Corbino, I beg your pardon. Yep, absolutely. He's in the first weekend of racing in this championship. There is Takax there in the Fogarty Motorsport car, and the McDonald's entry there. Sponsored the McDonald's livery, I should say, is Clayton Twining. Yellow flags out for something. Max Silver there. And here is DeWitt in the Ferrari. Then it's Mr. Worldwide. I guess if nothing else, he's taking better care of that Fogarty Motorsport car. And we see our AM drivers, our AM championship leader, Wayne Tanner and Ian Stewart, in a great battle, aren't they, in the AM class championship. And it's Tanner winning that battle at the moment. Here's Griffin in the Ferrari. And you can see Nicholson as well, who's Pro-Am class, third in the Pro-Am championship. So he won't be too happy with his performance today. We haven't really spoken about him too much, have we, this afternoon? Isaac has just sort of been doing his own thing down there outside the top 20 overall.
Yeah, not the qualifying that he would have wanted. He was starting 14th in this race, I believe 12th on correction, with a couple of drivers pulling out last minute, Cameron Fleming and Anthony Burrows not making the race start. But he was very, very frustrated to be 21st. It's not quite been the race for him that he would have wanted. Obviously, a good opportunity to gain some points back on his teammate, who was down the order in qualifying, if we remember correctly. So it's just not gone his way, and that's been the theme of the day, really. There's been a lot of drivers that things have gone great for them. Like, you look at where is Aiden Holton? I know he's up there at the moment, and we've got a couple other drivers that are up there, but it's just not gone the way of some other drivers.
Absolutely. Car 40, there's a 43 car off. No, there was. Anyway, it's back into the pit lane now. Nicholson, Staley also into the pit. So we're seeing a bit of pit stop action here for the final time, or what should be the final time in this race. Don't forget, just confirming, James Barton, the 91 Ferrari, has retired from this race. And of course, if you stay in the lobby, you can be classified, Isaac, because if you finish, 75% of the race, you will pick up points, and those points, especially in this endurance round, there's plenty of points to be had here if you just stick with it and complete 75%.
Well, there's plenty of points to be gained. I'm just getting word that potentially Aiden Holton's actually out There's only 30 cars left in this lobby, so I think Aiden Holton has actually retired from this race full stop. So there's no more Aiden Holton. I was just talking him up and how good he was doing fighting back through the field, but he's actually not in the lobby anymore, so he has retired from this race. So there's been quite a few hard luck stories today, and that trend seems to be continuing. Adam Gray in for his final stop now of the race. That's the first of the TTR Southside cars to blink. Quite a flurry of action. Gary Windsor with a 30-second stop go, but quite a flurry of action in the pit lane at this stage.
Absolutely. Still plenty to play out here. 36 minutes remaining in this race. We see Gray come in. There's Elzine, our youngest driver out there on the circuit. Boy, what a fantastic effort from him. He's done so well, hasn't he, across not just ACC, but doing some good things on GT7 as well. Then Carter in P2. He's just done quite nicely here. Has this man, I'll tell you now, because he's just kept to himself. He's done his own thing, has Nick Carter, TTR West Side. Of course, missing James Machin today. But Nick Carter, I've liked his race. He's just kept to himself, hasn't he? And he's just into P2, and he's back into the pits here now. But we can see him coming into the lane for the final time. But he could be on for a podium finish here still. He's had a good afternoon.
Yeah, well, Matt Donetti served his final stop. And I'd just like to point out, Matt Donetti, we'll have to double check the positioning of that, but I think he has jumped. He's jumped Simon Bishop. So Matt Donetti, despite being so far down and having struggles with that car, maybe there was something he knew that we didn't, because he's come out in front of Simon Bishop, and that is crucial for the 51 car. That's a massive change of position. I was going to talk about how Carter could have potentially jumped Matt Donetti if things went his way, but he's jumped Simon Bishop. So it's this race, all of a sudden, Trevor's turned on its head and it's starting to heat back up again.
Oh, it has. Carter in the pits. We saw that happen, didn't we? But Simon Bishop, well, this is interesting, isn't it? Matt Donetti, well, he's come in and out again ahead of Simon Bishop, and he's going to have the run of the tyres too, isn't he? Because with 34 minutes to go, he's in front, and he's comfortably in front of Simon Bishop. And we see Elzine there continuing on. Carter now coming out after his final stop as well. So where's he going to come out? Let's have a look for Nick Carter, and we'll wait and see how that all pans out. But Josh Struick, I guess the question, Isaac, is when does he come in? What are we expecting for the strategy? Is he going to come in with about 30 to go, do we think, for a sprint to the end here?
I think so. I think we'll see him pit sometime in the next 40 minutes. That car will have some very fresh rubber on it and the best opportunity to make inroads. Hopefully, he will not lose too much time to those front two cars. That's what I'm most concerned about at the moment. I'm trying to work out what the gap between Struick and Elzine is at this stage of the race. We've got another car in the pits. There's a yellow flag in the pit lane for a car that has returned to the pits, so we'll have to get to the bottom of that. But this is the man that is leading the way in this race. A fair gap back to the other car, or the other cars that he's in battle with. You can see there is Adam Elzine, there is Matt Donetti. So he's almost a whole lap. He's almost 2 seconds ahead of him. You can see he's coming in through the chute now, down towards the toe is our race leader, denoted by the little triangle on the track map down the bottom of the screen. So that's a fair way that Matt Donetti's going to have to make up, and potentially says to me there might have been an issue in the pit stop for Simon Bishop.
Yeah, absolutely. He's lost some time. We've seen the same happen with Matt Donetti earlier in the race as well. We see Lee into the pits there, and we've got Gray there leading the way in the Pro-Am class. Norley as well. Lee, we've seen him in the pit lane. Horvat there. And Joy and Henderson, this one getting close. 33 minutes remaining in this race. So it's getting down to the business end of things here as we continue to race on. Lap 48 around this Watkins Glen circuit for the American Grand Prix. AGT, ACC action, Season 2, Round 5 coming at you on a Sunday afternoon. Where else would you want to be? Oh boy, this championship is not done with yet. And a big moment there. And it looked like an Aston, I think it might have been. We'll wait and see whether it was Tanner. No, I don't believe it was him or Gordon, but might have been Stewart. Yep, absolutely. I reckon it was Stewart there bouncing along. But we've got 7 drivers inside the top 10 who have completed their 2 mandatory pit stops. But look how close it is here at the moment. LZ now just 1.5 ahead of this man. And what does Simon Bishop do as we've got a yellow flag out there at the heel or whatever part of the... Oh, there's a car off. Must be Stewart again. And that could be dreadful for his race this afternoon. He's off into the gravel.
Yeah, he's run too deep into that corner. Maybe just sitting there now to get out of the way of the cars coming through here so he can start to get underway again now. But just ran really deep into that corner, ended up in the gravel, sat there and waited for the train to pass, and he's now re-entered the circuit and will continue running. But that is not what you would want when you're trying to fight for a lead. Adam Elzine now into the lane, so it just leaves Josh Struick and at this stage Daniel Mortimer and Les Sandwith as the 3 drivers yet to serve their final stop. So our race leader, he's actually a pro driver again, was the pro driver that's marked as a man driver, and he's got Adam Gray not too far behind him. So he'll probably come in sometime soon, I would imagine. And then you've got Les Sandwith, who is recovering from that 30-second stop-go he had to serve as a result of his previous pit stop. Maybe a few nerves there. Josh Struick's in, so our race leader's in as well, just to make a note of that. So the final round of pit stops, here we go, almost on the half an hour. You pretty much nailed your prediction there, Trev, of half an hour, and then he'll pit, get some fresh rubber. You should have a fairly healthy gap to Matt Tinetti as well.
Well, thank you. I'll take that prediction. And 48% of my predictions turn out to be wrong, and well, 50% of my statistics are actually true, Isaac. So there you go. Take what you want out of that. But we've got half an hour remaining. The 50 is up for this race. 50 laps completed. But this is where it's at the moment. Are we counting Simon Bishop out, Isaac? 2.7 seconds. We know this is Simon Bishop, but is he too far back here? Or we've still got a final twist in the tail, depending on where Josh... Oh, he's off. He's off the jacks. Here we go, back into the lane now. Where is he going to feed out here?
I think he should come out fairly safe here from Matt Tinetti. Simon Bishop, you can never really count him out. You'd be silly to do so, but it's just the tyre life that he's got remaining. Oh, he's spun at the final corner. He's facing the wrong way. That is Simon Bishop facing the wrong way. He's spun. He's going to have to sit there while cars go by. He'll get the car moving again. But I just caught that in the background. He was facing the wrong way, and that is huge for this race. That is, we were just talking about, I was just about to mention the tyre life and how he came in with 53 minutes to go. He was asking a lot of this tyre, and now he'll be asking even more of it, because that is a huge spin.
Big moment in this race. He's one of the big players here this afternoon. I talked about whether we could count him out, and that was just as that incident was happening. I put the question to you, Isaac, but with 29 minutes to go, that could very well be. I think he's lost as well lost a position there to Nick Carter, and this man has impressed me. He's been the quiet achiever in the field. We haven't seen him in too many battles or various incidents in the race. He's kept his nose clean. He's kept that beautiful black and gold Mustang looking very shiny indeed. That is a beautiful looking car, as you can see there as he comes through our picture. But Matt Tinetti now is in at P2. Josh Struick, I'm all over the place here with the director's cut here, but you can see Norley and Elzine very close indeed. There's a few other battles happening further down the field, but Simon Bishop, I guess the best he can hope for now is to potentially come up on the back of Nick Carter, but we don't know what the tyres are like for Nick Carter, as Matt Tinetti does have that quickest time. But a little bit of a scruffy couple of laps here from Simon Bishop, just losing out at the end of that previous lap, so we'll keep an eye on that. But 4.5 seconds is the gap between first and second, and Josh Struick will have the fresher tyres as well. So I guess on both counts he stayed out longer, and it looks like the overcut is what's going to work around here this afternoon.
I was going to say it was the undercut, given the nature of how the tyres were around here, but I've been proven wrong. This man has time and time again just proven that he is a wonder behind the wheel of the car. and he's just done a brilliant job today. What can you say? Matt Zanetti, though, has the fastest lap of the race now. So our two little split times that we did have of Josh Struick and Simon Bishop, both holding the blue, Matt Zanetti said, I love that, fellas. That's my point that I want. So he will continue on and hopefully maybe make some inroads in Josh Struick, but I doubt it. With half an hour to go and the fresher rubber that is on that 33 Mustang, there should be no real threat unless he makes a mistake. But I am prepared to eat my words, because I also said that the podium is pretty much set and Nick Carter probably wouldn't be a shoo-in for a podium, and look where he is now.
Absolutely incredible stuff. Wow, this is, boy, what racing we've seen for round 5 of this championship. Isaac Fogarty alongside myself, Trevor Byers, of course, TrackSpotTV, RavenComms, big players in this broadcast here for Adrenaline AGT. And you can see here it is looking like it's going to be this man. But boy, we've said that before and we've been caught out. But Simon Bishop right up behind Carter here. Oh, how does he play this one? He wants a podium finish still to salvage something. I say salvage something because I guess given his high standards, he would not be happy any sort of mistake whatsoever from this man. And he's going to be his own harshest critic here. But let's have a look at Gray. Oh, here's a little battle developing here between the Porsche. I think it might be the end of that battle, Isaac, because I think he's got that move done.
Yeah, well, Daniel Mortimer, he's still out on the track, yet to come into the lane for his final stop. So he has a significant tyre difference over Adam Gray, who's doing a wonderful job. He's a Pro-Am inside the top 5. He's had a lot of pace here this weekend. Just, I think, working with Josh Struick, and a man who is just so quick and so comfortable in these cars, has been really great for him, and how he sets up the car, looks after the tyre, gets his lap time around here. He's done a wonderful job today to be well inside that top 5, and hopefully it stays that way. He's leading the Pro-Am class as well, and looking like he'll walk away from this race with the Pro-Am class lead. So this has been a great result for Adam Gray today, if he can keep this up with 25 minutes to go. But Bob Norley, about 6 seconds back, so not too far, but not too close either. Daniel Mortimer is continuing on, so he's staying on those tyres. He's going to have a really fast set of tyres towards the end of this race, but I don't know if it's going to amount to anything. Just how long. Look how close Simon Bishop is to the back of Nick Carter.
Oh, you can see there. It's getting tight, this one, and let me tell you, Simon Bishop wants to leave Watkins Glen. He wants to get on that plane out of New York here this evening with something to some silverware to take home back to New Zealand with him. And a big shout out to everyone, of course, on the AGT YouTube, TrackSpotTV, YouTube and Twitch. We're going live across multiple platforms here this afternoon. We're getting down to the business end of this. Oh, tight. Where can he get this one done, Isaac? In your professional race driver opinion, I tell you what, it might not be long here.
I don't know about professional race driver opinion. I certainly can have a race driver opinion, though. I think the Mustang is quite quick out of this corner and down the straight. But if Simon can get a good exit like he has here, there is potential for the slipstream to pull him along. There's less weight in that BMW. So here we go. This is where he could make it happen through the S's, sitting right in behind, trying to get as much slipstream as you can. Get the tow down towards the bus stop. Will he have a look here? I don't think he's going to. He's not going to be close enough. The top speed of that Mustang is just enough to keep the BMW at bay. But this is where it comes into its own. This technical section of the circuit is where the BMW is the most strong. You look at the sector splits from qualifying. Every single Mustang was struggling through this portion of the track. The BMWs were having a field day, Trev. So this is where we're going to have a look. Has a look to the inside. Carter's gone wide through the chute down towards the toe now. Here we go. On the outside, this is the high line. So he's stuck out on the dirty side of the road, but he's made it work. Maybe he looks for the switchback, but that's perfect car placement on the apex from Nick Carter to hold on. Simon Bishop got stuck out on the dirty side of the road, didn't really have the grip he would need to make the switchback work, and Nick Carter holds on for now.
Oh, for now, that's the big question. How long can he hold that for? Struick has got the fastest lap back from Zanetti, of course, and we can see Bishop and Carter here doing battle. This is unbelievable. And 13th for car number 53, thank you for that. But look at this battle continue for a podium position if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, right around the world. This is grandstand blockbuster Netflix stuff. Better than Netflix, Isaac. Forget about that, because this is where it's at the moment. You can see Simon Bishop tries to have a little cheeky look. Oh, not going to get that done. And Nick Carter, that Mustang, very wide at the best of times. But you can see he is putting that Mustang in all of the right places. As I think that's Mr. Worldwide down there having an issue in his BMW. But we cannot take our eyes off this, Isaac, as we come onto the back straight once again.
Well, again, this is where the BMW will come into its own after this section, down through the inner loop, outer loop, into the chute, and then the heel and toe. They call this racetrack the praying man because it looks a little bit like someone bent over and saying a prayer. And I think Nick Carter might be saying a few prayers at the moment that he can hold on. He'll be looking, he'll have a BMW filling up his rearview mirror everywhere he looks at the moment. This is where he got the run last time. There's a better run this time for Nick Carter. He got a better exit off the corner, so there's no side-by-side overlap this time. But this means that Simon Bishop gets full access to the racing side of the road. Slightly wider line for Nick Carter on the exit of the toe, now down towards the heel. I don't think Simon Bishop is going to be close enough at this stage to make the move stick. The gap at the front is growing. There's now 13 seconds between Josh Struick and Matt Zanetti. So Josh Struick running away with this race. But this is where the battle is at the moment for this last podium position. Nick Carter has found himself with an opportunity to make a podium out of this race. He started fourth, so he started on the second row. Simon Bishop started from pole position and is currently outside of the podium places. Very aggressive car placement from Simon Bishop through the final corner, Trav. This is going to go on for quite a while, and there's a lap car that may impede in front. He looks like he's trying to get out of the way, though.
Absolutely, the Merc getting out of the way there, the AMG car, but this battle continues on. And that Mustang top speed helping Nick. And, of course, that's what James Machin believes as inside, the outside turns to the inside very quickly. Oh, my goodness, it's hard to watch, isn't it, through the S's 2, 3 and 5. And Simon Bishop continues to hunt down Nick Carter here. Let's have a look and see. Oh, you're brave if you're going to go through there. Never in a month of Sundays are you going to get through there, because Nick Carter closing the door very, very quickly now as we continue to go through the praying man circuit. Not a praying mantis, there's a lot of imagination required there, but Simon Bishop has a cheeky look down the inside. Did they make contact? I don't believe so. But what about each other's Christmas card list? I know we're a bit of a way off Christmas, but let me tell you, if these two make a mess of it, we've got Gray there further back looking to pounce, but I think Struick's out in front here, 14.7 back to Matt Zanetti, and then this battle continues as Mortimer, finally, Isaac, comes into the pits to complete his 2 mandatory pit stops.
Yeah, that's the last of the cars that need to come in, but this is going to continue on for quite some time. This battle is going to go on probably for another 19 minutes. The tyre life of Simon Bishop, his tyres must be screaming at this stage. They've been on for over half an hour and they've still got 20 more minutes to run. This is a lot that he is asking of the tyres at this stage of the race. This is a brilliant job from both of these drivers, and what a result it has been so far for Nick Carter. It is the lone TTR Westside Mustang. Obviously, James Machin tuning into the broadcast, cheering him along from the sidelines. But this has been a wonderful effort from the TTR. They need to save as much or salvage as many points as they can, because Matt Zanetti is now the sole point scorer for CP Motorsports after there was a game issue. He had a wheel and then PlayStation console crash, did Aiden Holt, and that's why he's no longer in the race and on the grid. So he dropped out, unfortunately, which means that the BCG1 are the only team in the top 4 in the championship scoring 2 sets of points. The other team that's scoring 2 sets of points are the guys that are currently 6th and 7th in this race, side by side on the exit of the outer loop down towards the chute. Simon Bishop's got it done around the outside. He does. Into the chute they go. Oh, it's loose. There's contact. Oh. He got loose on the exit. There was a massive power slide from Simon Bishop. There's heavy contact between both cars. That was not intentional at all. Nick Carter has pulled over to the side. He stopped and continued on. That was heavy contact between both drivers. It looks like that may have been the fault of Simon Bishop. Just got loose, and there's heavy damage on both of those cars now, Trev.
Heavy damage indeed. My goodness, it was close, wasn't it? But I wasn't expecting that. I do apologise for my reaction. Boy, what a weekend we've seen of this AGT championship. What's our favourite? What's our catchphrase? You can't script this, and well and truly you cannot. I did not see that one coming, but Carter has got an incredible amount of damage on his car. I think Simon Bishop has got through that reasonably well, but is that going to give Gray a chance, who is leading, of course, the Pro-Am class? How far behind is he, Isaac? We'll wait and see. I think he might be able... 16 minutes. It's going to be touch and go, isn't it? But all the while, Matt Donetti sitting there in P2. Josh Struick leading this race. Fastest lap to boot as well. But boy, what on earth happened there? Just two not going into one on that occasion. You can see Carter now. And that's a real shame for Nick Carter, isn't it, Isaac? Because he'd had a quiet race up until that point. And, well, he was potentially on for a podium. We knew Simon was going to make him work for it. And on that occasion, these things happen in sim racing.
They certainly do, and that's very disappointing for Nick Carter. I'm sure that one will be sent to the stewards. I'll have to have a look. Looks like potentially a racing incident between those two. Simon Bishop just got loose on the outside where the marbles were. He couldn't really control the car, and then it's just sort of a concertina effect from there, really. You sort of pinball off each other, you go into the wall, you go back into each other. It's just the nature of motorsport and how these incidents happen sometimes. But just looking down the field now, looking at Andre Scheppers, he's quite close to the back of Bruce Quadrille, who's found his way into the top 10, which is a wonderful result for the driver who started 30th or down towards 30th in this race after missing qualifying. But Scheppers for Defy Motorsport is looking to get himself up into the top 10 and get some crucial points for his team.
Absolutely on Quadrille here through turn one we go. 15 minutes left in this one. How close does he need to be? We'll wait and see. Boy, this is a good little battle here developing. Quadrille, of course, in the pro class, and you can see plenty of support. Come on, sheep, as they say in the comments, because this man is looking good. He pulls out from behind the number 67 Ferrari, but it's still Quadrille with his nose in front as we go into the bus stop chicane, inner loop, outer loop, and we head to the heel, the toe, the praying man's backside, and this is going to be very close indeed. I think that's how I'm seeing it. But boy, oh boy, here's another opportunity for Sheepers here, and this man is this is a very close battle. I think it could be the closest out on the circuit here with just 14. Isaac, where has the time gone this afternoon, man? At 2 hours, we're down to 14 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about. Time flies when you're having fun, and we've absolutely been having the best time, the time of our lives even, you could say, in this commentary box. Josh Struick now has the fastest lap of the race back, so our race leader back with the purple next to his name. But this battle could go on for quite some time. Nick Carter really struggling now. He's 10 seconds back on Simon Bishop, so there's definitely some heavy damage featuring on that 711 Mustang. Hopefully he can hold on to that fourth place with only 13 minutes left to go. But crucially, I'm looking at this battle. I'm also looking at the fact that Bob Norley in the Team XV Primer car is closing up on Adam Gray. That's only a second gap between those two cars now, and that's not only top 5, but also the class lead for Pro-Am. So we could see not only a battle to get into the back half of the top 10 to that last spot, but also a spot for the last spot in the top 5.
Well, do not adjust your TV sets, because this is going to be one hell of a finish. There you can see Sheepers and Quadrille and Norley and Gray as well. This could be a battle. It is going to be a battle for the win. The win, W-I-N, to finish the Pro-Am class here after 2 grueling hours of racing outside the Big Apple. 13 minutes remaining now, even less than that. And these endurance rounds really are well and truly delivering here, of course. And for a 2-hour race, it's absolutely delivered. It's had everything. It's this man. Let's do a quick recap for those just joining us here. 59 laps if you're coming home from your Sunday roast or your dinner or in New Zealand, whatever they're doing over there, I don't want to know about, Isaac. On Sunday evening, I'm sure they're having dinner or something. They're just like us, aren't they? Really, when you think, oh, well, hang on, better not get too much into that. But 12 and a half minutes remaining and 60 laps completed. Matt Donetti second, Simon Bishop in third. And, oh, gee whiz. Gee whiz, that's what they say over there. Whether he'll be happy with that or not, I don't know. But Nick Carter struggling with, well, we talked about how nice that car looked, but it's looking a little bit worse for wear. And Gray only 15 seconds further back, but he's got other issues to worry about because here comes Bob Norley. Look at this, Bob Norley now. Not sure why I'm talking like that, but Bob Marley maybe, but he is right up behind his business at the moment. And, well, if he was hoping for a nice, calm, relaxed Sunday run to the line, he's not going to get it, is he? Because Norley is all up in his business.
No, this is going to go right down to the wire, which I'm very excited about. I think we went on a bit of a Jamaican holiday there for a minute, which I would not be opposed to right about now. The cold weather we're experiencing in Australia, I'm craving a bit of heat and sunshine, and the Caribbean might deliver just that. This gap down to 6/10. It's also 6/10 between Quadrille and Sheppers. Oh, it's actually closer now. It's about a 1/10 and a half between Sheppers and Quadrille for the back half of the top 10. So it's getting close between both these cars at the moment. A Mercedes sitting on the back of someone else looking to make a move to get past. So we've got 11 minutes left in this race. How much tyre life does Bob Norley have left to try and get past the 57 of Adam Gray, who has led this class since the start of this race? He has led the way, and it could only be in this last 10 minutes that it's come down to the wire for Bob Norley.
Absolutely. 10 minutes remaining. Oh, I tell you what. Let's just wait and see how this was. A little bit further back, actually, on this lap, as we can see. Just the usual. Just a few Ferraris there getting amongst it. And you can see further afield, but Sheep... Oh, hello. Hello. What was that? Was that a Ferrari facing the wrong way? There's no yellow flags out here. It's not him. We know James Barton has retired. Maybe DeWitt. No, they're all continuing on. Maybe I was just seeing things there. My eyes playing tricks on me. But Mortimer, Porsche and Porsche right behind this Ferrari. Look how racy he's getting, using every bit of the track available to him here, Isaac.
It's on for Sheep Stations down here in 13th and 12th place. Adam Elzine, not the stop he would have wanted for his final stop. It's put him right down the order. He stayed out very late. Looks to the inside as Daniel Mortimer, but not close enough this time by to make the move stick. He'll try and get a better exit. Runs very wide on the exit of turn 1. Side by side. He's on the dirty side of the road, though. That's on the marbles. That's a very bold place to try and make the move stick. They're side by side through the S's. There's a little bit of an overlap. There's no contact, though. That's very good racing between the Porsche and the Ferrari. We saw it go wrong for the sister car of both of these cars early on in this race, but that is how it's done. That is a very nice overtake from Daniel Mortimer through the S's to make that stick on Nathan Lee and get himself up into 12th.
Oh, I tell you what, boy, it's just things are getting spicy here at the moment. As what a move there, what great work from Mortimer. Gets ahead of the Ferrari, and well, he had one Porsche to deal with, didn't he? And he might have another one in just a few moments, but let's have a look now. Norley, we're getting closer to Gray in the Mustang. Let's have a look. Yellow flags out there. Final corner for something. Car 20-something is having a few issues, but we'll keep with this battle here at the moment. Norley continuing on now. Just 8.5 minutes remaining. Oh, between now and the checkered flag, it's looking like that top three might be locked in. But nothing is certain in the sim racing world. And we're hearing, those little birdies are back, because we're hearing that Nick as well, Nick Carter that is losing 6 seconds a lap with damage. And how close is that going to put him to Adam Gray? Well, it's 3.5 seconds. So, wow, they're having their own battle, of course, in the Pro-Am class. But could Nick even yet still lose out on track here? Because we can see how close it is at the moment, Isaac, with 7 remaining on the clock.
They're reeling him in. He's losing a lot of time. So this could be attractive position for both of these drivers. Nick's going to have to try and defend with a very, very wounded Ford Mustang, and he will not be happy that that incident between him and Simon Bishop occurred again. They'll have to go before the stewards, but it just looks like Simon just lost the rear on the dirty side of the road, and the car was a bit unsettled. So I don't think anything was intentional there. They were racing each other very hard, and just unfortunate that contact. But again, it'll go before the stewards. They'll make a decision, and we'll go from there. But this battle is closing up on Nick Carter, and he is walking wounded at the moment in that 711 car.
Absolutely, and will he fight this? That's the big question. Will he? Well, of course, he's not going to let them go, is he? You can see, oh, down there, you don't need to. Oh no! Well, what happened to the Mustangs that were eating curbs for breakfast, Isaac? They're not eating them anymore because they're off the circuit, and that is just terrible. There is Nick Carter. Oh my God, how close was that?
Dangerous spot. And that's a very dangerous spot to re-enter. I noticed an Aston Martin at the corner of my eye almost making contact, but I think we've gotten away with it. There's another car coming through. That is Bob Norley now, up into 4th place. Adam Gray lost the position as well. I take my eyes off for a second to look at a piece of data, and all of a sudden I look up and everyone's just sprayed, like someone put a little bit of oil on the track. They're just everywhere, all over the circuit, and that is very disappointing for Nick Carter. He now will sit right down the order in this race towards the back half of the top 10. Simon Bishop still running around in 3rd place at this stage of the race. But wow, that was a very scary moment for both of those drivers, and all the other drivers coming through as well. Here's Adam Elzine on Nathan Lee. Can he make the overtake this time through? He's got the overlap. He's got ahead into the bus stop. Makes a massive curb usage there. Everyone's using 5 minutes to go. Everyone seems to have thrown all sensibility out of the window, Trevor, and it's just, let's use as much curb as we can.
All hell's breaking loose here at the moment. 5.5 to go in this American Grand Prix for AGT, ACC. Great to have your company. That's the second Porsche that has gone past that Ferrari quadrille there further down the road. And what's happening further down? Takak's still going there. Griffin as well. Clayton Twining has been involved in some incidents there, as we see. Oh, Boyd, Mr. Worldwide. Where is that? Is that the last corner?
Looks like it is, yes.
What's going on? Are they just losing grip or something? The conditions, 26 degrees air temperature, 31. He's got to get this back quickly. Who's he got? He's got someone coming through, and we'll wait and see. There's going to be a car flash by, but now he's got that. I tell you what, this must be devastating for you to see these McDonald's cars getting smacked around like you wouldn't believe as he comes into the pit lane now. Stewart continuing on. Looks like Tanner is going. We're not counting Mortimer, are we, Isaac? Are we for the AM class? Where are we counting him? Which class is he in? The Pro class?
No, he's Mortimer is in the Pro class. Tanner is in the AM class. So Tanner's leading the way at the moment in the AM class for this race. He's doing a wonderful job in 17th.
Certainly is, and we can see 4 minutes remaining, so we won't count Mortimer there. Lap 64, there's our race leader. At the moment, 4 minutes to go now, so probably this lap and another one and possibly another one. And big shout out to everyone out there on Twitch and YouTube, TrackSpotTV, AGT's YouTube channel as well. It's been a pleasure to bring this race to you on a Sunday afternoon. Do not go anywhere, we've got a big finish coming up. There's Simon Bishop, absolutely on it. Can he get the fastest lap back? I doubt that very much, given his tyre life. There is Bob Norley. Continuing on now, Gray through as well. There's Henderson, who's done pretty good to get that thing up into P4, P6 overall, and then Nick Carter. And Nick Carter might lose out here again because Horvath is only 3.8 behind him, and he's going to have a couple more tours before the end of the race, Isaac. So this could get even worse. Is the top 10 in jeopardy for Nick Carter?
He's losing about He's losing roughly 6 seconds a lap, so he could fall to Horvath and Adam Joy here. I don't think he'll fall to Sheppers. He's 13 seconds off the back of Adam Joy, so he should be safe inside 9th place, provided he doesn't make another mistake. But I think we're going to see a change of position here. Look at the speed difference down the straight. Nick Carter just pulls to the inside, sort of lets him go, really, because there's nothing he can do to defend. That car is, again, walking wounded, just struggling with the speed at the moment. And he will now move up into 7th place. That's still 3rd in class for Frank Horvath, so a great result for him. He's had a few difficult results this season, but he'll be spirited to not only be 3rd in class, but also inside the top 10.
Absolutely. 2.5 minutes remaining. Carter lets that one go, lives to fight another. I think if he stays in front of Joy, who doesn't look to have much damage, or any damage, in fact, on that AMG Mercedes-Benz car, I think that might do him, but he might be P9. I don't think Sheepers is going to cause too many issues here. But let's get back to the front. Where is our race leader? I think this is going to be not the final lap of the race. I think this might be the penultimate lap of this race. We haven't heard from race control yet. It's less than 2 minutes. And Elzine into the pits. What is happening there?
I believe that may be for fuel. Matt Boyd has a 30-second stop go. But I'm just looking at Elzine, and I do think he has to... That's Andrew Griffin running wide, going slowly. He'll try and get back on the circuit now. No one really around him, so that'll be an easy rejoin. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on Elzine. But it looks like he may have underfueled the car and has had to come back in to put some more fuel in to get to the end of this race. And that's another thing about these races. You have to do the maths. How much fuel do you need to get to the end? And it's come back to bite him. A car that was inside the top 5 looking for a strong result today now sits 17th in this field.
Oh, absolutely. So another one bites the dust. No, I'm not singing, no. I know you want it, Isaac, but no, I am not singing this afternoon. With less than a minute to go now, where is our race leader? He might have another lap under his belt here. Then Matt Donetti, who's done very nicely indeed. The championship is going to look interesting after this round 5 race, of course, because Simon Bishop, Matt Donetti still going to be leading, I believe. We'll get all the possible outcomes sorted very shortly. But what about this man in the Pro-Am class, Bob Norley, 2.1 ahead of this man, and he's doing very nicely indeed. Joy and Carter, well, that was 5 seconds, and look at this. What defences has he got? We are losing our minds here, Isaac, because we've got some more action ahead. I reckon he's got him. Joy gets the move done there on Nick Carter. Sheep as well and truly further back, but Mortimer and Quadrille, is it? I think that battle might be finished. I think he's made another position there, Mortimer. He's just outside the top 10 when it's all said and done.
It's a wonderful result. He's pulled himself back up through the field. He stayed out very late in this race. Obviously, we're on the final lap now. So we stayed out very late, waited until about 25 minutes to go before he came in, but it's paid off with just being able to pump out qualifying laps towards the end of this race. So he's done a wonderful job. Another man who's done a wonderful job, he's coming through the bus stop at this point in time. It's Josh Struick. He leads the way. He's been absolutely flawless today, and I don't think, very loose on the exit there for Daniel Mortimer. But I don't think there's anything else really to say about Josh Struick, Trev. But you might have some more words. But this man, we knew he has a big pedigree in this sim, in this race, in this league, and just in sim racing and ACC in general. He has a wealth of experience, so much knowledge. And there's the other, that's the sister car actually, of Adam Gray in 5th place that is coming up to lap.
Absolutely. Well, here we go. Final sector for this man. He started the race P2 after setting an identical time to Simon Bishop. Well, he's had the last laugh here on the Sunday, because he is going to win this race, the opening endurance race. Are we just going to get some thumbnail action there for the no, he's let him through? I thought we were going to see the famous finish between both teammates. But here he comes through the final corner. Josh Struick is going to get this win here this afternoon. The first of the endurance rounds in this AGT ACC Championship goes to Josh Struick. And like we said, he recorded an identical pole time on Friday night in the shootout, but he manages to get it done here, and Matt Donetti will take every one of these championship points here. It's slightly held up on the final corner by one of the Mercedes cars, but here he comes out onto the start-finish straight to finish in P2. And don't forget about Simon Bishop here. Spare a thought for this man. I reckon Gray and Norley, they've finished the race, haven't they? Norley continuing on. I think they were the only ones on the lead lap, but Simon Bishop here, he's got a Ferrari to contend with, but he'll still come home in P3 here this afternoon. And boy, for his standards, Isaac, he's been well and truly in the thick of it. He'll still come home with P3 in the end.
It's damage limitation really for Simon Bishop today. He'll have to go to the stewards post-race and have a chat or two with them about things, but for the most part it's been a wonderful result for him, so he'll come home in third. Bob Norley, his best result to date in an AGT event, if he can bring it home from here. Obviously P5 is finished, so as long as he crosses the line then he'll be fine. Only a few cars left to cross the line and finish this race, and Bob Norley is one of them. He'll finish P4. Wayne Tanner takes the class win for AM, and then Ian Stewart in second, so that championship lead will change. Bob Norley will take the Pro-Am class win, Adam Gray second, and Frank Horvath will be on the podium for TTR Eastside in this race, and I believe that's his first class podium as well. And there we go, Bob Norley across the line now. So there are your results on the screen, and there we go, what a result for Josh Struick and TTR Southside.
Absolutely, there they are on your screen. You can see Josh Struick winning this race, Matt Donetti in second in the pro class, Simon Bishop coming home third. Bob Norley, that is a great result, as you mentioned, Isaac, for him and his team. Second is Adam Gray, of course. Horvath there as well in third. Then Wayne Tanner as well in the AM class, coming home to take the win ahead of his championship rival and teammate Ian Stewart. And you can see there Clayton Twining as well taking P3. But what a weekend of racing we've seen here at Watkins Glen for round 5 of this championship, Isaac. And it really all started, didn't it? Friday night with that incredible shootout. We saw the exact same time between Simon, of course, and Josh. And boy, the drama has well and truly continued into Sunday.
It certainly has, and there's drama aplenty. We saw two drivers having the same lap time there between Simon Bishop and Josh Struick again, just continuing to have the same lap time as that race went on. But yeah, look, it's been a wonderful race, and if I think about, I'm just thinking about who I would give my driver of the day to, and I think I have to give it to Bob Norley. There's been a lot of standout performances today, but Bob, he started 12th in this race, came home in 4th, his first Pro-Am class win, and his first top 5 result in AGT. He's come along leaps and bounds in the last few races, found a lot of pace, and working with Braden Henderson would have been a big help for him as well in that sense.
Absolutely. There are the final results on your screen. No arguments either about Bob Norley. That is a fantastic drive for him. But there we go. What a race. What a weekend of racing we have seen. And we've got a week's break now, of course, Isaac, before we have the Spanish Super Sprint, which was postponed. We've got that on Friday the 4th of July. So that's going to be a tasty little treat as we jump on the plane and head to Spain.
Yeah, I cannot wait for our second attempt at this Spanish Super Sprint. It should be action-packed. There's a couple drivers that will be not looking forward to this. There was a couple of drivers that already know where their pace lies and how they're feeling, but I think there'll be some setup changes coming into this next event. And then obviously it's back-to-back, Trev, because then the week after we'll head to Bathurst for the TrackSpotTV Challenge.
Looking forward to that one. Friday the 11th of July, 15 minutes for qualifying, 30 minutes and 60 minutes for the race. But boy, what a weekend, and how fitting as the sun sets here at Watkins Glen. We are just about to wrap up. That has been an incredible afternoon, an incredible weekend of racing, of course. It all started on Friday night, didn't it, with the top 10 shootout, but this broadcast as well, brought to you, of course, by RavenComms and TrackSpotTV. AGT proudly partnered with RavenComms and TrackSpotTV to bring you this broadcast, not just this weekend, but right throughout the course of the season. And boy, we've got plenty of racing action coming up. Thank you, Isaac Fogarty. Always a pleasure. Thank you. You've had to put up with me for a couple of hours on a Sunday afternoon, but thank you for joining us, and can't wait to see you on the 4th of July for our second attempt at the Spanish Super Sprint.
It's always a pleasure sharing the Combox with you, Trev. It's an absolute delight. There's some great racing as well today. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you all for tuning in at home. Again, I'm very looking forward to the Spanish Super Sprint, one of my favourite circuits, Catalonia. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully, fingers crossed this time, we don't get shut down.
Absolutely. We won't be leaving Spain until we get that one completed. But just recapping, if you're joining us once again, Josh Struick taking the race here this afternoon in the Pro class. Bob Norley, a great drive in the Pro-Am. And, of course, Wayne Tanner, of course, dominating the Am class. That's all we've got time for. Be kind to one another. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time in Spain. But for now, it's goodbye. See you next time.
Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight.